Star, your home for the Cowboys. KTFM Floresville and SASportsStar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
I've decided not to return to the sidelines this season. That's a quote from Gregg Popovich's statement he released yesterday, saying he will not return. The Cowboys appear to be close to signing defensive tackle Osa Odigizua. Numbers reportedly coming in just above $21 million per year. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Don't do it yet, Rob. My mic wasn't on.
Well,
I wasted my first good. Good morning, everybody. Hey, now, how we doing out there? It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Oh, we made it.
yeah.
What day is it, Vic?
Friday.
It's finally Friday, baby.
Here, well, I'm waiting. It's like Pavlov's dog. I hear that term on a Friday morning.
It's Friday. What? It's Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend, baby. Friday. Getting down on Friday. What?
See, the sad thing about this is
Party and yeah, party and
because
yeah.
this is actually happening on a day that I'm starting to look forward to the song. I'm starting to actually start to kind of get a grin on my face, little happy.
I got this, you got this, my friend is by my right. Yeah.
A couple
I
weeks,
got this, you got
I'm gonna
this.
be dancing.
Now you know it.
So kind of grows on you like a fungus.
Yep, won't go away.
Which seat can I take? It's Friday. Oh, yeah.
The jock itch of songs. Just kind of hangs around, and before you know it, you're scratching it.
I think she was like a little kid when she wrote this.
I think so, yes. This sounds like about a 12-year-old girl.
It is like a 12-year-old song, but
yeah.
Imagine how much money she made off of this.
What's the movie where Hugh Grant wrote a Christmas song and lived out his entire life?
Oh,
Don't you wish you had done
That'd be great.
one song when you were 18 and for the rest of your life you're good?
Yes.
Mailbox money forever.
Yes.
Yeah, well.
Heck yeah.
Like Tag Team. Whoop, there it is.
Just one song.
One song.
If you need me, I'll be on the golf course.
Whoop, there it is. And they're like, that's
Ice Baby.
They're like,
right?
that's the song. Whoop, there it is.
My man Robbie Van Winkle turned one song into a lifetime.
Please, he's made a great career out of flipping houses.
Oh yeah, but what do you think paid for that first house flip? It was
The royalty.
It was stealing the Pink Floyd riff, but above and beyond that.
No, was that Pink Floyd or Queen? That's Queen.
Queen, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Ding 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 ding.
Under pressure.
Ding ding ding. See, and mine goes ding 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 ding, and theirs goes ding 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 dong. See, it's different.
Yeah, you can barely tell the difference.
No, he had to pay. Yeah. No, that was the defense.
Yeah,
that's different, right? No,
it's the same.
We're gonna need 18% of your royalties, please.
But you know what? Good deal. Until Suge Knight shakes the rest of it out of your pockets, and then you don't have anything left.
The balcony, taking everything.
That's a true story, by the way.
Yeah,
that really happened.
I believe I would have whooped Suge Knight's ass. He did that to me. I like to say that, but it
also
might not have gone the way I thought it would go.
Behind the scenes, he went to high school with my wife.
Oh, yeah?
In the ghettos of North Dallas, in the hard streets of Farmers Branch.
When you found
on the hardened streets of Brookhaven Country Club.
When you found that out, did you ask her?
I found that out when he got big. My wife and I were already dating.
Okay.
And we were actually in College Station, and we were watching the video, and my wife goes, I can't say what she said, but holy crap, that's Robbie.
Uh-huh.
And we were like, I said, what? She goes, I went to high school with him.
How many people were in their class?
Oh, it's a big class. This is
Okay.
a big 6A high school. But they ran it. Here's one. He dated the Robbie Van Winkle dated the girl that eventually married Bill Clinton's brother.
Okay. Bob Clinton.
And no, his name was. I went out with him one night.
On a date?
No. This dude was a party.
Grow up.
You got to
Vic.
keep in mind, this was the early '90s, and there were some illicit things going on, and he was in the middle of it. Oh man.
Which is why I
Well,
asked.
Billy? Was it Billy?
I don't
think
know.
it
I
was
made
Billy
that up.
Clinton.
So they have a Bill and a Billy?
Well, no, and then it was Bobby, Danny, and I can picture him. But yeah, we went
Carl.
out. No, it wasn't a Carl. He was
Carl Clinton.
no, he was Arkansas through and through. He was exactly like your favorite radio host in Houston.
Clayton,
Same dude.
Clayton Clinton.
No, it wasn't Clayton. I remember that one.
That'd be awful.
That's part of my. That's
Clinton.
Yeah, I
my
know.
son named Clay. I remember that one. It was
Clinton.
No.
That's Arkansas.
Clint.
It wasn't. Might have been Billy. No, it felt like Billy, but that wasn't it. That's
He's like
Bobby, Danny.
when you say he's like Clint Sterner.
Oh yeah, Bubba.
Hey, Bubba, hey,
Bubba.
man, let me tell you what.
Yeah, that was him, man. Through
Hey,
and through.
back in the day, I had that star on
Hey,
my hat.
Bubba.
Yeah, I came through. Hey, man, I don't like to brag about old times, but when I was the Cowboys quarterback, I'll tell you what, man, I could sling that pigskin, Bubba. Hey, I was in Jerry's office, man, and Jerry said, "Hey, Bubba, Clint, you're the future of this franchise, man." And I said, "Well, slow your roll, Jer Bear." And
Roger. It was
he
Roger.
said, "Hey, man, I'm telling you now, Clint, you're going to be the man." And I said, "You know what, Jerry? I am the man. I'm going to do it for you, Bubba." And Jerry and I, we're both Arkansas boys at the end of the day. He believed in me. I believed in him.
I'm looking up the Clinton. They're still married.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Molly Martin. They're still married.
All right, so here's the question. When you did they run in the same circle?
Legit, yes.
So did you ever ask your wife, did you guys ever, get drunk and make out?
With Van Winkle?
Yeah.
I think they went out one time in high school, but the story was it was like one.
Did they make out?
I hope so. I'd like to have that connection.
Did he touch her boob?
I doubt, knowing my wife, probably not.
Like even over the shirt?
Well, knowing my wife, if it was one night, no, knowing my wife.
Okay. Well,
but
that's
if she'd
good.
have had any idea of the money he'd have made, she might have put out. But I don't think she knew at that
Okay.
moment. I'd like to think she would have,
Yeah.
because I would have.
Every time I meet someone that went to high school with my wife, I was like,
So did you get a handful?
"You ever touch your boob?"
You know a little bit more about it than I do?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't? Now, see, why on earth would you want to know that?
Well, I
See,
don't know.
I willfully
I don't really want to know,
I
but
back off.
it makes her uncomfortable. So because, well, I don't like it either because anytime she meets anyone I went to high school with, she asks the same thing,
Oh.
and the answer is usually yes.
Well, see, that's another.
I loved touching
entire
boobs
issue.
in high school. Loved that.
Oh, yeah.
Only
That's
problem
one
was-
of my favorite things to do back then.
Yeah.
Back then, we didn't even have to ask.
No, you just when you're a star, you just you can grab them by the boobie.
Yeah.
They don't they love it. They don't care.
What I'm saying is that informed consent thing really wasn't. You know what I mean?
My first was a Blessed Sacrament.
See, the Catholic girls.
The Catholic girls knew what was going on.
Well, see, the good thing about Catholic girls is they always had button-up shirts.
First boob Vic touched was a nun.
Yeah, and they were always white see-through.
Yeah, white see-through. So if they had something a little lacy going on, you could always
so
tell.
you went to a school that had boys and girls?
Yeah, it was co-ed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't believe you sent your boys to an all-boys school.
Let me tell you.
That's so mean.
No, let me tell you. I thought it was outrageous until you went there, and I figured out I would have rather have gone to an all-boys school.
That's
Let me tell you. If you got to go to school and you didn't have to worry about that for 6 hours or 6 for all day, what would you do? Everything in those schools is competition. Those guys have fun. It's a fun day, and you're not sweating what you're looking like.
There's
and dealing with
no
girls.
bigger
And you had girls
competition.
across the streets.
There's no bigger competition in your
I'm
school
telling you.
ages than the
You
competition
ask
over
any
women.
guy that went to an all-boys school, they wouldn't trade it. And I didn't. But those guys that did, it just seemed to me like they had a lot more fun. They didn't have to
can't
worry and
imagine.
sweat all the stuff that we would have to go through.
Yeah, they also didn't get to ride on the back seat of the bus on the
Oh,
way
yes,
home
they did.
from the track meet.
Yes, they did. They have a sister school. They had schools that they just didn't go to class with them. But the moment the bell rang, all the clubs were co-ed. But during the class day,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
dude, I'm telling you, if I had it to do over, and that's the way I'd have gone.
Okay.
Although they come out a little awkward. There's some of the game that they don't quite pick up, but when
Imagine
it's
the
your son, you don't mind. When it
in
was
college, when it's like Oh, hey.
Well, here's the classic example of a way
I can't talk to you because
the
I
type
don't
of
know how.
education my sons got. In the classes that they would go through, if you said something like that wasn't very smart, or if you brought up a topic in class and it was wrong, you got hammered not only by the teacher but everybody else in the class.
Okay.
So my son went through that for 4 years. It's a unique way of teaching. It's like it goes back to the
It's called
the Greeks.
bullying.
It's a Socratic method. You kind of learn your way through it. It is kind of a bullying thing. So my son's in his very first college class, and the prof asks a question, and somebody stands up and answers it, and it's completely wrong. Well, my son's first inclination was to bust out laughing and point at him. And he's like, and Jack's like, what an idiot, just saying something like that. And of course, everybody else in the classroom was like, oh, how dare you? And Jack was like, what? That was stupid, that kind of stuff. So I appreciate the way that he was educated, because you better know what you're talking about if you're going to speak up.
Your kid was Nelson Muntz when he got to college. He's like,
basically, well, that was stupid. Next.
what an idiot. That sucks. Well, I guess you got to learn the hard way. It's
I'm
hard to
just
make
saying,
friends once you're
But there is a lot of stuff that they didn't get. There's an awkwardness that you kind of have to get over.
Well, did you ever? Do you know the? This is Simpsons trivia that I learned from my kid. Do you know what Nelson Muntz's middle name is on The Simpsons? The bully on The Simpsons.
I know. No, I have no earthly idea.
No idea.
Mandela. He's Nelson Mandela Muntz.
Well, for those of us of an age, it makes perfect sense.
Oh, it's so funny. The Simpsons is really maybe the greatest show ever written for television. Like the fact that
it is sugar-coated genius, is what it is.
It is. Like you're not when you watch it as a kid, you don't realize how smart it is, and then you watch it as an adult, and you're like, oh my gosh, these guys were so ahead of the game.
They're on point.
We've got our typical Friday show. It's packed,
as you can tell.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna talk about random things, which apparently there's some people out there, they don't like that. They're like, you've got 4 hours. Why don't you talk more about sports? Sports games.
So certainly, we're going to talk a lot about the Spurs today.
Okay.
And Pop.
I guess we can.
Well, I mean, not so much the Spurs, but Pop and the press release yesterday.
Okay.
And what was been termed as an emotional gathering.
A gathering.
Yeah. When I heard that was not the best news I could have heard.
No, but I don't know. It's the expected news, right?
Well, it is. I'm kind of surprised. I feel like a lot of people are kind of late to this party. I don't know what people were expecting.
I don't
Honestly.
either.
I don't
like you said, like the idea that Pop was going to come back and just look like nothing ever happened.
Reinvigorated at 75 post
Woo,
stroke.
Had a couple days off. I'm feeling great, baby. Let's party.
Yeah. I just slept it off. I babied it. I feel better now. No, that's just not how this works. Yeah. And I get the sense that yesterday was the first time the players had actually had an opportunity to meet and talk to him. And
you think so?
I do. I do think that that's the sense that I got.
I guess I just would have imagined that they
Well, I know that he had come back to the Rock for the very first time just the other day, but the guys were all gone. They were all on the road.
Yeah.
So I get the sense this is the first time they've seen him. And if you hadn't seen him since he got sick, anybody for that matter that you've known that went through rather a traumatic illness or syndrome at 75.
Yeah.
And think about what they look like 3 months after that.
Yeah.
So I imagine when we hear emotional, I imagine it was, oh my gosh, this is real now. This isn't just he's taking some time off. This is something that, appears to, at the very least by his own statement, has ended this season.
Yeah.
So I think when Pop released that statement yesterday, that freed the Spurs to start actually almost overtly talking about the future without Pop.
Well, it's something that they're going to have to start taking more seriously, and at least they're addressing it.
Well, he did, and that's the first time we've actually heard from him.
Yeah. So we will talk about that. We'll talk about a big weekend coming up in college basketball. We actually, what starts this weekend? Conference tournaments.
I know it. We're getting them going. Those mid-majors, the ones that screw. Well, the
low majors start this.
Mid to lows, the ones that screw up your bracket. They're playing this weekend.
Yeah. Well, and really, some of these you don't have to worry about them screwing up your bracket because you ain't taking a 16 seed.
Well, I'm just saying you won't, but there will be a 15 seed that wins this year.
You think so?
I guarantee it.
I don't. I think the teams at the top are this is such a top heavy tournament.
That's true. But what we have now is such a dispersal of talent. We have more talent in more places than we've ever had because it's just easier to move. And that's why we've had the Gulf Coasts and the San Diegos. The 15 seed is going to be much more likely. 14 seed's a de rigueur, and 16 is going to happen about every 3 or 4 years now just because you've got 24-year-old guards playing for San Diego for the first year they're open, and suddenly nobody knows these cats. They show up and beat somebody. So I think starting, if you're really into this and you want to pay attention, look for the teams that are kicking ass this weekend because those are the most likely 16 seed play-in kind of teams that roll in and beat somebody unexpected.
I believe
well, it won't be a 16 seed. The top 4 are too good. But I see a 15, 14 seed. It's going to happen.
I believe the school where I matriculated at Austin Peay State University for my undergraduate. I think they're going to be the first conference tournament game of the entire thing. They'll probably lose, and I'll be embarrassed because they're going to play like North Florida or something stupid like that. But yeah, the Atlantic Sun tips off this weekend, and
nothing better.
We're gonna have. Listen, friends, you're gonna also like Rob said, you're gonna see some teams that are gonna. There's gonna be a team that pops out and you're gonna go, wow, man, this team can do something. You're also gonna see some really bad basketball in the coming weeks.
Oh, you're watching Thursday Atlantic Sun Conference basketball, you're watching the 1 and 15 team playing the 2 and 13 team.
When you're watching Stetson versus Central Arkansas, you're gonna be like, oh my God!
You'll know it when you see it. You'll see a team. You go, oh man, they've got shooters, they've got rebounders, they don't make mistakes, and those are the teams that travel and shock people.
Yeah, but you'll see. And you know what? Even in the ACC, you're going to see some. This is going to be the worst ACC tournament that's ever existed. It really is.
Well, sometimes just because the teams are bad doesn't mean the games are bad.
These will be bad games.
And you stumble into those Thursday afternoon games when there's like 15 people in the building, and suddenly the game gets electric and nobody cares but the players.
There's going to be 2 games in the ACC tournament that matter. It's going to be the Louisville-Clemson game is going to be good, and then the winner of that game against Duke is going to be good. Everything else is going to be dreadful.
Well,
it's a conference with only 3 good teams in the whole damn thing.
In my experience, this is the time when you get those teams that get hot. The North Carolina States from last year. That you don't see anything, and suddenly they win 4 games in the tournament and squeak their way in. I'm just saying it might not be the ACC.
It could happen.
But there'll be a team that does that too.
All right, and we'll talk about the combine.
Like Wisconsin. Watch Wisconsin in the Big Ten tournament.
Well, Wisconsin's like the best team in the Big Ten.
Well, they not until the last 2 weeks ago.
Well, yeah.
This was a team that has turned it on and getting good right now.
They got it figured out. But yeah, well, there's always a surprise team comes out of nowhere. All right, we'll talk some combine as well. There's a plethora. We'll talk some college base. No, we won't. We won't do that. But we'll talk about some other. We've got Rob and I have plans tonight. Rob and I are going to the big show. We're gonna go see some jams.
I can't wait.
All right.
I've never seen a full show from Gary Clark Jr.
I haven't either. We will tonight. All right, man. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning and happy Friday. Now, we do have a closure this early morning, far west side of town on 1604. Westbound still closed. Shanefield to New Gilbo, an earlier accident. Traffic still slow from Calabria, and they're still forcing traffic onto the frontage road. On 35 southbound, the connector to southbound Loop 410, we've got road work blocking the right lane of the ramp. And that road work at 35 northbound, 1604 up to Olympia Parkway has just been picked up. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hit a home run for happy hour and ask your Twin Peaks girl about local specials on drafts, cocktails, shots, and more.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it! Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Have you ever done a jingle, Pat Green?
It's my only jingle experience. My first line is, "This is the worst thing I've ever heard." The engineer raised his clipboard up over his head and smashed it onto the soundboard. Buttons scattered like Legos across the room. And then my violin player goes, "He wrote that jingle, man."
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149. Dell Technologies is celebrating with anniversary savings on their most popular tech. For a limited time, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 16, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors, and more. Save now at Dell.com/deals.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603.
Guys, this is AJ. If you're feeling kind of tired or low on energy, do what I did. Check out Game Day Men's Health on Bassey Road. You'll get a personalized plan that starts with a free testosterone test. Call 210-900-3691. That's Game Day Men's Health, 210-900-3691.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, the NFL Combine continues. What's going on with the Cowboys? We'll talk to John Machota.
He'll join us at 5:15 with the Cowboys news, plus all the other drama coming out of the Combine, like arguments between media types at the coffee shop.
You might call that a vente. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
After all these years, I still don't know what Susudio is.
I don't either.
Yeah, me neither.
I think that's the whole point.
Yeah.
AJ, here's a little nugget for you, a little San Antonio nugget. This dude, Phil Collins, was the largest private holder of Alamo memorabilia of anybody in the world.
Really?
Phil Collins adopted the Alamo as his passion over his lifetime.
Oh,
and
damn.
put together the largest private collection of Alamo battle memorabilia and the famous ones, Bowie and Travis and all those guys, of anybody in the world, and has donated a fair amount of it back to the Alamo and to the whatever they are, the Daughters of the Alamo or whatever. Because of his passion, we have all of this stuff. Phil Collins. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So a little bit of, maybe that's what Susudio might be something to do with the Alamo. The basement in the Alamo.
Yes, it has something to do with General Santa Anna.
Santa Anna.
Santa Anna Susudio.
Actually, that sounds kind of right.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know why that talking about Phil Collins reminds me of that era, but I heard a song the other day. Have you ever heard this song by Rod Stewart where he talks about killing his wife.
What?
Dude, I'm going to read you some lyrics.
It's not Tonight's the Night. That's about doing something else.
Let me see.
Not Young Hearts.
Dude, this is not a...
Because he also has that one that you always play when you're playing your kid's graduation.
Yeah, this isn't like...
Forever Young.
This isn't some sort of like veiled, hidden message song.
So it might be wrote it
It's
after...
a song called Foolish Behavior.
No, I don't know this song.
Can I introduce myself? I'm a man of panache and wealth.
Wait a minute. No, that sounds like...
You're thinking
Stones
I'm a
song.
man of wealth and taste.
Yeah, when he's singing about the devil.
Please allow me. This is different. Sound in mind, body, soul, and health. Why I want to kill my wife? I have this urge to take her life.
So you wrote that post-divorce.
No, listen, dude.
The divorce proceedings.
Been planning for years to get rid of her. Not divorce. I really do mean to kill her. She's so full of useless information and trivia. That's why I want to kill my wife. I have a duty to take her life. Her stupid friends get right up my nose. They all wear annoyingly sensible clothes. They're all so bleeding grandiose. You know why I should kill her friends? They're all driving Mercedes-Benz. I mean, like, should I string her up or strangle her in bed? Suffocate that little venomous head? Or perhaps I'll just whip her to death. Listen. Do me a favor, kill my wife, do it for mankind, take her life.
And it's funny, I'm looking at his greatest hits. This song's not on there. This one didn't make the top 10.
I wonder why.
Well, that's,
I mean,
hurts record sales when you're
When I heard that, and it's like, so he's got the album is called Foolish Behavior. This is like the title song of the album.
I'm looking at his history. He's been married 3 times, currently on his third wife. So this might have been about his first wife, Alana Stewart, maybe?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know that he would want to say out loud.
Rachel
Hunter. And now he's married to Penny Lancaster, right? She's like she's a TV lady in England.
So he probably didn't say that about her because they're still married. So
yeah,
I'm going to hang this directly on the first wife, Alana Stewart. Sounds like something you'd say to.
Okay,
I'm going to kill her. I'm going to have to. If I don't get out of here, I'm going to kill her.
Man, all right, man.
And this is the guy that wrote Forever Young.
Yeah.
Have I told you lately that I love you?
But no,
you
were busy.
Sexy?
You were busy writing songs about murdering me. You didn't tell me you loved me.
There's also the urban legend about Rod Stewart.
What is that?
What?
What's the urban legend?
I can't really.
Well, I mean, you can hint at it.
Well, it's along the lines of the Richard Gere urban legend.
With the gerbil?
But it's about
something else.
Yeah. I don't know how to say it on air.
Huh.
Well, we'll say it off air.
I will tell you off air. But for those of you, where's the Brigade Bar? You're a certain age, and this is before internet. There were certain urban legends that circled the world. One of them had to do with Richard Gere and gerbils. The other one had to do with Rod Stewart.
Let me see. I'm going to type in urban legend. Oh.
See, even when you Google it.
About the sailors?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that existed back before the internet. And everybody in the world knew the same urban legend. I don't know how we all knew or heard about it.
Word of mouth is powerful.
But, I mean, how does word of mouth go from, like, Birmingham, England to San Antonio, Texas? Seriously. And before the internet, we all knew or heard the story of Rod Stewart having to have his stomach pumped.
Well, he addressed the story once, and he said, I have never orally pleasured even a solitary sailor, let alone a ship's worth in one evening.
That made it around the world. A dude from the southwest side of San Antonio at like 13 had heard that story.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
That is wild. A British dude.
A British dude who was singing. I mean, he looked different.
Oh,
but
man, really?
It's way more likely that Vic did that because he was actually on a boat full of sailors.
3,000 of them.
Yeah. Vic,
No.
Vic had to do what he had to do to survive, man. There's no shame in it, Vic. It's all good, Bubba.
Well, I'm here, though.
You're here.
I made it.
Yeah, but that's why you lost your kidney.
Yeah.
It's too much in one day. Too much of a good thing, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's hit a break. When we come back, I'm going to give away some tickets to the college slam dunk contest and the three-point shootout at the Frost Bank Center on April 3rd, right there around the built around the Final Four that's going to be coming here to San Antonio. We'll do that next. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning and happy Friday. Now, we do have a closure this early morning, far west side of town on 1604. Westbound still closed. Shane Field to New Gilbo, an earlier accident. Traffic still slow from Calabria, and they're still forcing traffic onto the frontage road. On 35 southbound, the connector to southbound Loop 410, we've got road work blocking the right lane of the ramp. And that road work at 35 northbound 1604 up to Olympia Parkway has just been picked up. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Mattress Firm's President's Day sale ends soon. Get matched to your perfect bed now and sleep at night. Plus, if you see a lower price, they'll match it. Hurry and stop by Mattress Firm to upgrade today. Restrictions apply.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now boarding Group A. Please have your boarding passes ready to scan. If your phone is cracked, old, or was chewed up by your Chihuahua travel companion, please refrain from holding up the line. We ask that you kindly not be that guy, and instead simply go to Verizon and trade in any phone from their top brands in any condition on any unlimited plan for the new Samsung Galaxy S25 with Galaxy AI.
With new line on my plan. Additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Hi, everybody. It's Joe Reinagle. You know, now is a great time of year to get your roof inspected and ready for our crazy spring weather. Be it hot, cold, rain, or hail. Who knows what Mother Nature has in store for us this year? Call Stevens Roofing at 210-785-0994. You know, your roof protects your home and your family. A quality roof overhead means comfort, confidence, and certainly peace of mind. Now is the time to get your roof ready for spring. Call Stevens Roofing at 210-785-0994 or go to stevensroofing.net.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you tried online gaming. Who knew 12-year-old boys could be so mean? And where did they learn to swear like that? 2 hours of losing to these underage trash talkers, and you're starting to question if maybe you really should stick to pickleball and other boomer stuff. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
If you're tired of drinking the same old beer, good news for you, friends. Karbach Brewing has you covered. They've got something for everybody in their lineup. No matter what you like, they can improve on what you've been drinking. Whether it's a Hopadillo, a Love Street, or a Crawford Bock, they've got something for everybody. And Karbach has one of the leading IPAs in San Antonio, Hopadillo IPA, an iconic Texas IPA packed with the bitterness of hops from around the world that the hop monster craves. And one of Karbach's leading brands, the top seller in San Antonio, in fact, is the Love Street Blonde. It's a state of mind, a San Antonio state of mind. It's a Kolsch-style blonde, hopped delicately with floral German hops. This beer has the clean malt profile that you're looking for. And if you're used to drinking cerveza, they've got that as well. The Karbach Cerveza Especial is right for you. Like I said, something for everybody. And when you're in Houston, make sure you go check out the brewery, check out all the beers they have on tap. But while you're here in San Antonio, you want to try something new, why don't you try out a Karbach?
George gets justice. At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, we are the ones you can trust. With over 100 years of combined experience, we are committed to helping people in our local community. Get George Salinas Injury Lawyers and put our experience to work for you and your case. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com.
George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
This is Joe Reinagle. You're listening to the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1. Let's do these college slam dunk and three-point shootout tickets. I got 2 pairs to give away today. I'm going to give away one now. I'm going to save one for later. But let's do caller number 3. You're going to win a pair of tickets to the college slam dunk and three-point shootout April 3rd at the Frost Bank Center. I don't know who's going to participate, but should be a fun time.
Oh yeah, it is a fun time. It's a good thing to take your kids to. I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff going on.
Speaking of a fun time, we saw fun Steph Curry last night. What a showing. I guess Steph Curry has the kind of game that is going to last. You know what I mean? It's the kind of game that I guess you can even at an older age, you can make work.
Yeah.
But 56 points last night?
Well,
I mean, what? And that includes a 56 points, including a 56-foot shot that went in. And Draymond said as soon as he saw it leave his hand, he's like, oh, that's in.
It's done. Like 12 threes? 12 threes, is that what it was?
That was – and it's weird. He took a shot from beyond midcourt. Like, I don't understand.
He's touched by God. There's just what the things he can do, no human has ever been able to do before. And it's what I think is absolutely magical about this is something that he refined himself. It's not like he was born jumping 50 inches in the air and, learned how to dunk.
He doesn't have the – like when you're looking at guys, you're picking up random guys in a pickup game. When you see Steph Curry, he's not going to be the first guy you take.
No.
He's probably not going to be. He might be the last guy. He might not even be one of the guys taken. He's going to have to sit there and go next because nobody wants him.
And keep in mind, the shot that he uses, that form, was not even something he came into college with. This is something that he and his family and his coaches refined. It's one of those things that kids can see, and it's repeatable. I mean, this is something that he got a little bit extra. The things that he can do truly are unique, but it's not like this is the first time in that apart from a pure free throw shooter, a guy who hits 99 out of 100 because he practices that much, where you can actually see a skill set that can transfer to kids. You go, man, if you work hard enough, you too can hit 35-foot jumpers on the regular if you do it right, because the form follows function, and he's perfect and it works.
Yeah, 56 points on 16 of 25 from the field, including 12 of 19 from 3.
Draymond at the All-Star game.
12 of 12 from the line, by the way.
Remember Draymond sitting at the All-Star game? We kind of giggled. He said, man, we're practicing. Let me tell you something. He this is a guy who's seen what title teams look like. Said, we're going to be in this thing.
Yes.
Now, he actually said we're going to win it. Now, and we kind of laughed. Now, they're not going to win it. I mean, it would be one of the greatest sports stories of all time if they do. But you can see when you got a guy like Steph who can get on a heater and go for a month and miss 10 shots, that you can chase it.
Well, yeah. And even when you've got a guy like Steph, it covers up everything.
Everything.
Last night, the other 4 starters for the Warriors, Draymond, Jimmy Butler, Moses Moody, and Brandon Podziemski, combined to go 8 for 32 from the field. Now, I'm not talking about from 3, like from the floor. They shot 25%, the other 4 starters, and they still won the game by 6 points because Steph Curry went into God mode. 56 out of the 121 points came out of his hand. Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I don't know if Steph Curry will be appreciated for what he is, like, long term. Like, when he's gone, are we going to remember Steph Curry as, like, one of the 10 best players ever?
Yes, because there's an entire generation of guys that become Steph Curry. that have done everything that Steph has done. And the first was Trey, but really the generation that's going to truly represent what Steph brought isn't in the pros yet. They're about 15 years old, 14, 15. That generation, this is the greatest shooting generation ever come up.
I just don't I don't know where he's going to land in the is he going to be looked at as a better player than Kevin Durant?
I think he'll be thought of as he's in it's the other way around. He's in a higher esteem than Durant.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
He's in the conversation as one of the top 3 point guards to ever set foot on the ground.
Okay.
I mean, to me, it's Steph, Magic, and Isaiah. That's the three. That's the standard for your point guard. Now there's Iverson and there's a bunch of other dudes that step in there, and there's different sizes and different skill sets, and I think Durant falls in that room too. But Steph is as big a player in the pantheon of the game. If there was a Mount Rushmore, he's on it. And last night just proved yet again that we happen to be in an era of a couple, 3 or 4 generational dudes that we're about to kind of hand the baton off, but it's not done yet.
Yeah, I mean, I every time I see Steph Curry do something like this, I'm just kind of like,
and it's so
it's like when LeBron occasionally has these kind of games where he randomly puts up a 50 spot. Mostly I'm wowed by it because he's at this point he's in his 40s and he's doing that, and it's like, wow, man, I can't believe this dude's this good in his 40s. But with Steph, it's different. It just feels like this guy he's just got this magical power where when he shoots the ball, like, you just know it's going in. And
there's a grace to his game that you just.
It is so fun to watch, man, when he is on.
And it's galling and it's aggravating as an anti when you're on the other side of it, because you just feel like there's nothing we can do. I step up to play defense, he just takes another step back. There's literally nothing I can do tonight. He is going to go get it, and we're going to have to sit and watch this just absolute perfection, precise and graceful, and just ideal to those that like the modern game.
Yeah.
That appreciate that.
I still stand by, like, the 2014, 15-ish. Yeah, I'll go back to 14. That was the year that 2014 is the year the Spurs won it, right?
That was the last time, yeah.
Okay. That was the year where, I mean, the Warriors weren't the best team, but they were easily the most fun team to watch.
See it coming.
And I was like, this team is going to win. Mm-hmm. And from then on, they were just so good. But it was the most fun thing to watch. And man, I guess after I say that, like it's some big statement when they went to 5 straight finals after that Spurs.
There would have been one more, but Zaza Pachulia.
Oh, don't blame everything on Zaza.
No, that one, it was Zaza. I mean, we'd have beat them.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, every time I see Steph, I just think back to, like, watching him as a young kid and all the way to now, and it's just it's one of those things I'm going to look back and go, man, I'm glad I got to see this dude's
because
career.
It was so remarkably unexpected.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was a top 10 pick.
Yeah, but he came in, and for the next 3 years, he couldn't lace his shoes up because his ankles were so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, he had to go through all this trauma to get to where he was, and then out of nowhere, 3 years into this pro career, it became something remarkably unexpected.
Yep.
It literally, like Shaq a decade prior, changed the game.
Yep. All right, we'll be back. Wrap up hour number 1. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Ready for the ultimate sports fan getaway? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is headed to Vegas, and we're bringing you along. Why? Because watching the games from your couch in sweatpants just isn't the same. Join Jason and Joe from the Blitz for a Mega March weekend you'll never forget or possibly remember. We're talking Vegas here. March 27th through the 30th, we're hitting up Circa Las Vegas for opening day. And the second weekend of the tournament, a.k.a. Sports Heaven, baby. Thursday, March 27th, the party starts with baseball's opening day at the world's largest sports book. That's right, big screens, big games, and big opinions from Jason and Joe. It's basically like watching sports at home, but with no chores and way more pools. Speaking of pools, dive into 6 of them at Stadium Swim and catch all the action on a 143-foot screen. Lock in now. Go to circalasvegas.com. Use promo code BLITZ and party with Jason and Joe at Circa Resort and Casino. Sports, pools, Vegas. What could possibly go wrong?
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Big John and Jackson, 68 GTO.
It's a 69. It's called the half-breed. Remember when they changed them over from the GTOs to the Le Mans?
Well, this is a Gigi car then, because if you've seen a picture of her, she looks like she's a half-breed.
Damn, one of a kind, and I love her.
Love you too.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Something amazing is happening here. The next era of AI has arrived. CDW data engineers are helping organizations harness the power of AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. The power to run workloads faster means greater productivity, giving your business a better shot at success. Intel and CDW make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Intel-client.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Morning Huddle 94.1. The other thing that happened in the NBA last night, did you see that Anthony Edwards is going to get suspended now? He's now racked up enough technical fouls. Don't worry, He's only missing the Jazz game.
Well, it keeps going. It doesn't wipe the slate clean when he comes back.
So how's it work? Like, once you so now every time you get a technical, you get suspended.
I think you get like a buffer one, but I don't even think you get a buffer one. I think when you get to the max, and while it plays well in the regular season, playoffs it matters.
Yeah,
you've really got to step back.
16 technical fouls this season. Got 2 of them last night in the loss to the Lakers. So he will have to sit out the game tonight against Utah.
Some of that I'm happy with. You want a guy who's fiery, but you don't want your best guy to miss games. But sometimes you're like, like a coach getting thrown out of a game. Sometimes it's good to see your best guy lose his crap, lose his mind a little bit. But
I don't understand why, I don't think this should be a rule. I think if you get 2 techs and you get kicked out of the game, but get them all year long.
No,
you get punished for them all year long.
This is the Draymond rule, man. Sometimes we're just sick of you. Go away. I can't watch a game with you anymore. I'm tired of watching you kick people in the nuts.
The great thing about if you don't like that is you get 2 shots in the ball every time he does some dumb stuff.
This truly is the Draymond rule.
It
is because you get what you tolerate, and as long as we tolerate it, we're going to have guys like Draymond or stuff like that. We appreciate it periodically. I appreciate your passion, but man, you're getting in the way of entertainment.
Yeah, if I'm the NBA, I don't want Anthony Edwards missing games.
I agree, and no one wanted to see Draymond, but after a while, you're kind of like, dudes, chill.
If I'm the Utah Jazz, I don't want my fans to miss out on seeing Anthony Edwards. Because now it's going to be the Rudy Gobert show, and he's going to kick your ass.
But
you don't
I'd rather
win.
I'd rather now. It's more about the Timberwolves fan. I'd rather beat Minnesota without him. I'd rather him be out, and we'll play him. And
but Utah's not trying to win games, nor can they.
Well,
really.
I'm just saying, as a team, I'd much rather beat Minnesota and say we beat Minnesota. I don't care about whether I got to see the Ant-Man play. I want the win first.
Yeah, but they're not going to get either, unfortunately.
No, but the thing this is more representative of is where the Timberwolves are. It smacks of desperation. This feels like a team that now is realizing this is not going the way we thought it was going to go this year for a lot of different reasons. And our best guy is acting a little desperate, acting a little bit like, oh my goodness, this is slipping away.
Well, and the fouls. So yesterday, one of the techs was, I forget who it was at the end of the first quarter. They shoved each other and they got double technicals. It's like, okay, whatever. And then they miss a foul call on him, and he goes, "Where's my call?" And you're getting kicked out of the game for that. I don't.
There's a sense of desperation. What I'm saying is, if you're a winning team, you don't complain like that. But when you keep losing and you're in a big game, and this is going on, I think it's indicative of where the team as a whole is at the end of February. They're not even close to where they thought they would be. This was a Western Conference Finals team. And look at them.
What this gave Chris Finch the opportunity to do was bitch about officiating without bitching about officiating. He says Anthony Edwards got to be better. He's had too many outbursts. I think a lot of them are deserved. Of course, they're going to miss some calls from time to time, so he's got to be better. We've been talking to him about it, so it's on him. So that way you can say, even when the officiating's terrible, like when they miss these egregious calls, he's got to handle it better. And so he's able to say,
oh, absolutely,
the officiating was terrible, but it's my player's fault.
It's what you call a coachable moment.
Oh, yes.
So let's take this even deeper. For those of us that have watched the Courts of Gold, the propaganda documentary about the gold medal Olympic team last year. I still haven't
watched it yet.
Well, the opening part of the show is Steve Kerr getting to know all of his players.
Mm-hmm.
And he's standing in a ballroom in Vegas, and Anthony Edwards walks in. And Steve Kerr, you can tell they really don't know each other.
Yeah.
And he walks over to Anthony Edwards and, shakes his hand, is glad to see him. He goes, man, it's time for you to take the next step, man. You're built like a running back. Look at you. It's time for you to do this. And this is as he first met him. And that translates to what we saw last night. Dude, you are bigger and stronger than everybody else. You're going to have to play through this crap.
Yeah.
Whether you're fouled or not should not matter. Didn't matter to Michael. And if you're calling yourself that, and you've got every tool Michael did, and I just say him, but you're better than the calls. You can't let that slow you down. And I think last night kind of represents where Minnesota and Edwards kind of hit this holding pattern. He was going to be the face of the league coming into last summer. Remember? And he blew up on the team. we really haven't talked about him this much, and now we're talking about not so much the performance, but the anger.
Yeah.
Kind of represents the T-Wolves as a whole.
Yeah, maybe so. But I do also get I get where guys like him and, quite frankly, LeBron for most of his career, like these guys who are more physical don't get the calls that they should get. No. And when you look at the league and you see guys like James Harden, who basically made a career living at the free throw line, and you're like, why am I not getting these calls? And he's getting every ticky-tack call. I get the frustration of it.
Go look at Jokic and Embiid. Go look at their arms. Go just look at the scars.
Yeah.
Just the scratch marks down their shoulders and on their arms. And I guarantee you there ain't a whole lot of fouls going along with those scratches.
Right.
I mean,
it's like when you're big, you just don't get the calls.
You grow up big. The refs, when you're you're the tallest eighth grader on the court, hey, look at him. He's huge. Of course I'm going to let him foul him. If I don't, the guy's going to score 80 points.
Yeah.
So they've been beaten up their entire lives. They're used to it. But when Anthony Edwards, who's used to playing out on the outside, gets a couple of calls that don't go his way, they get a little upset.
All right. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Luka thing. I love these reports of now, like the Mavericks are like, yeah, we didn't like the stuff he was doing, and the stuff that he was doing apparently is like, who cares?
Yeah,
we'll talk.
he likes beer.
Yeah, we'll talk about that on the other side. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by True Green.
We're back in the miller's yard, who now use True Green.
Their lawn started looking like a fairway, and pro golfers started showing up.
They love playing this lawn.
Get a PGA Tour quality lawn for as little as $1 a day at TrueGreen.com. Exclusions apply. See TrueGreen.com for details.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted it close to town, with a picture window overlooking a yard. And you found it. Now, when you sit down to dinner, you've got front row seats too. Your neighbor's daily pickleball game. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes, and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit GetEthos.com. That's GetEthos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Dell Technologies is celebrating with anniversary savings on their most popular tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 16, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
At Diamonds Direct, we believe luxury is an experience and not a price tag. Luxury is expert guidance. It's the selection of 10 jewelry stores under one roof. It's saving time on endless comparison shopping, and you'll only find this experience at Diamonds Direct. Our luxury showroom has it all backed by our lifetime warranties and our signature best price guarantee. Diamonds Direct is the perfect combination of luxury and value, so you don't ever have to compromise. Learn more at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-230-2777. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million million of affordable term life for you. All you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-230-2777. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-230-2777. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-230-2777, 800-230-2777, or biglou.com.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Is that a new Samsung Galaxy A15 5G?
Yeah, I got it for free when I joined Cricket Nation.
Sounds pretty great.
At Cricket, anyone can get a new phone when they switch.
Whoa.
With a high-quality camera, meaning more flattering selfies for all. And super fast 5G, so you can post them for all to see. Your friends, your family, your ex. Free phone! Free phone!
Okay, I'll switch.
Welcome to Cricket Nation.
Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. Must bring your number to Cricket on a $60 a month voice plan. First month service charge and tax due at sale. These terms and other restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from Newstalk 550 KTSA.
Still working a couple of trouble spots as you head into your early morning commute. 35 southbound approaching Walters. That is an accident. Left lane. 10-12 minute delay has you slow from 410 East Connector. And we still have this closure, 1604 westbound, New Gilbo to Shanefield. It's causing about a 10-12 minute delay, slow from Houseman. Traffic still being diverted onto the frontage road. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
I've decided not to return to the sidelines this season. That's a quote from Gregg Popovich's statement he released yesterday, saying he will not return. The Cowboys appear to be close to signing defensive tackle Osa Odigizua. Numbers reportedly coming in just above $21 million per year. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I went out and Big Balls isn't out there. No, but I gave the can. The black cat came up.
Oh, okay.
Although that's the last can of food I'm giving to that black cat because
that's not a cat. That's a skunk.
That cat's not friendly. Like
Possum.
It's a possum, dude.
Yeah, Big Balls is friendly. You give him food, he's gonna like.
Oh yeah, he'll burr up against.
Oh
you.
yeah, you're like his best friend. That black cat, he'll run away or I don't know, him or her or whatever. He'll run away. You can't tell.
The money and run.
Yeah.
As long as they don't mistake me for you. As long as they know your car more than mine.
I think they can tell the difference.
Well, they don't come running yet. I'm saying, but
just don't kick the cat.
I'm not. Well,
just be nice to the cat. Don't worry about paw prints.
Harm a cat. I won't do that.
Don't worry about paw prints on your car
until I see little paw prints on my windshield.
And then what are you going to do?
I'm going to, I don't know.
You better not hurt Big Balls.
Well, Big Balls is.
You kick that cat, I'll kick your whole windshield out.
Yeah, there's no. Wow. I don't think you could actually kick a cat. They're too quick. But I wouldn't harm the animal. But
yeah, you can get a good 30-yard field goal out of that.
No. I'd throw some water at it or something. Stay away from my car.
Oh yeah, water always works.
Not with Big Balls. He'll
probably take a bath.
Yeah, I'm saying as long as he knows your car from mine.
Yeah.
Feeding stray animals.
Oh, don't be such a big
some rabbit animal's gonna jump us in the middle.
So grumpy old man.
God forbid, zombie cat's gonna come at me in the morning.
God forbid you let that cat have a little bit of food.
Take a vein out of my throat.
Big deal. Big deal.
You never know.
Luka, I don't know what the Mavericks think they're gaining every time they and they're the ones who are leaking these photos of
Luka cracking a beer,
Luka holding a beer, smoking hookah or whatever. It's who cares what this guy I'll be honest, man.
Can I play devil's advocate just to see what it sounds like?
Yeah.
So let's be realistic, and you're right. Who cares? But this guy is, by the time I'm said and done, if I pay through what I expect to pay if he's going to be a Maverick for life, I would have paid him $1 billion.
Okay.
By the time we're said and done, $1 billion. And this is a guy who, for this $1 billion, won't rehab, who spends 40% of his time hurt or trying to get over being hurt, who this $1 billion player won't play defense, just won't. Probably can, I don't know.
Oh, he can. We saw it a little bit in the playoffs last year, remember?
But he won't. Now, that being said, there's a lot of things he does do, but for the $1 billion that I would end up paying him, the least I could ask of you, dude, is at least during the regular season, can you put down the Marlboros?
But
so I'm not saying the action was drastic, but when you put it into terms like if I'm going to spend $1 billion on one dude, the least I could ask for is maybe a 90% commitment. Like maybe you'll wake up early and maybe make some of your rehab appointments, and maybe you'll kind of stay in shape in the offseason and you'll cut your beer intake to a case a week. I mean, do something.
Or just score 50.
Well, again, that's the retort. But I'm talking about paying you $1 billion. You can at least meet me not even halfway, 40% of the way.
To me, if Luka was not the player he is, I could see an argument for it.
I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying. I mean, come on, brother.
He is. I don't know. I mean, where is he in amongst the best in the league right now? I mean, he's a top five player.
Pound for pound, he might be the most skilled player in the league.
Yeah,
doing everything the way he does. Yes, you're right. But then you go,
but I'm saying
you could be better.
You're going to separate yourself from that guy because he likes to drink beer?
That's foolish. What they did was foolish. But in their mind, I can see from the bean counter point of view, the Sheldon Adelson, I need to win 53% of the wagers for me to be this billionaire. I don't care how we do it. This is how we do it. And if he's not going to meet me halfway, I can spend $1 billion a lot of ways, and I don't have to spend it on one dude. And you get the counsel of a guy go, yeah, not only can you spend less, but we can build a team that will consistently not require a superstar. That all we'll need is big, tall dudes and a guy that can dribble, and that's the system. And you'll never have to pay one dude and rely on it like you have. And I can see Adelson going, all right, pull the trigger, not knowing what the life in the real world is truly like. You don't say goodbye to a talent like that ever, ever, ever.
Nico's going to eventually lose his job over this, and deservedly so. Luka is you wait around for years and years and years to get someone like that. Luka is what everyone here is hoping Wemby turns into, like that kind of a player.
Yes. And you traded him.
And you traded him because he likes to drink beer.
Because he's a fun guy. It will never be understood. It will be the moniker that he holds around his neck till the day he exits this game. It might be on his tombstone. But I have a sense that he knew that. And it comes back to anybody I've ever known that wanted to be the smartest guy in the room. I didn't want to be in that room. And Nico felt like when he made that deal, I'm the smartest guy in the world. And no one else sees it. And he can justify it by saying that to himself. I'm so smart, even the other smart people I know don't think I'm smart enough. I'm that smart. And it will forever haunt him.
The idea that, first of all, that picture is priceless.
The glare.
It's priceless. The other thing I saw was after the game, the Mavericks-Lakers game, Luka was like, everybody was hugging Luka. The one person who he didn't even speak a word to was Jason Kidd. And I think he, at least Luka believes Jason Kidd knew.
Well, I told you, if it was me, if I was Jason Kidd and they literally told me and told me an hour before, I mean, if that's the story that you're going to tell me, I'd quit. If you're going to, you want me to be a head coach and walk out and coach these guys, and you're literally trading the second, third, whatever best player in the world, and you're telling me an hour before you do it as that's your story, I'm like, Luka, I don't buy it. And if that did happen, why didn't you just freaking quit? I would have.
Like I said, the fact that Luka wouldn't even look at him, that tells me a lot.
Yeah.
Like it does tell me a lot.
What do you think? Do you think he knew?
I think he knew.
I think so too.
I think he knew. Yeah. I mean,
he should have known.
Yes,
I mean, that's
you're
part of
supposed to. You're supposed to. As the coach, you've got to know. But but I also understand Luka's thing. Like, it's one thing for ownership to blindside me, but you're like,
you're supposed to be one of us.
You're in the circle with us, man. You're like, you've got to be our advocate, and you.
Yeah, he's a suit now.
Yep,
he's on the other side of the river.
That's
Can't
the thing,
trust
man.
a suit ever.
And Luka, today's Luka's 26th birthday.
He's only 26.
He's no longer on the best players under the age of 25 list. You could scratch him off.
Dude, he feels like he's 35.
I know.
He's been around a long time.
Well, it's because he smokes cigarettes or he smokes hookah and drinks beer. It ages you. Look at me.
Colossal. A colossal error. You've held on better, I think. What a colossal error. You traded a 26-year-old Luka.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
And Luka has not been particularly good since he's been with the Lakers,
but
he's going to be fine.
He hadn't played for a month before the trade. This isn't about this year. It's going to help this year, but this is about the next decade.
Yeah. If you're worried about, he's not getting back from this injury fast enough because he's drinking beer,
well, I hope
it's such short-sighted thinking.
Well, beyond that, it also
and they keep it's like the Mavericks keep doing things that make it worse. They're burying themselves every time the fact that they still talk about it, and they I don't know, it's weird.
Well, that's just the micro view of this. The macro view of it is Nico changed the balance of the game for the next 10 to 15 years with one move. Now, certainly the Mavericks are going to be affected for at least as long, but the Lakers are loaded for bear for another decade. I mean, somebody else did it and happened to be you. I hope after you're fired, there's some kind of golden parachute that the NBA has set aside for you as you propped up the league for the next decade, and knowing that it's going to be a career-limiting issue for you as you go to work for ESPN and be in the former GM to take the place of Bobby Marks, who had the last idiotic trade in the history of the NBA.
Yeah.
So I hope they're going to pay you in your retirement because you further the league, though you shortened your career.
Yeah. Again, if you're telling me that Luka, who played last year, he was 19th in the league in minutes played last year, was the scoring leader last year, took you to the NBA Finals last year. It's not like he wasn't drinking beer and smoking hookah then. Like, if you gotta deal with it when it's great, and you deal with it when it's bad. Like, that's just part of the deal, man.
You're getting to the level of don't try to make sense out of nonsense. There's no way you can frame this and have it make sense to the average dude as to why you traded him. You can tell me it was drinking, and you can tell me it was never in shape, but I can retort with everything you just said. It doesn't make sense. So don't try to make it make sense.
Got Garza says, I don't see Luka playing past 32 with his history. Here's why, though. You might be right, but first of all, who cares? That doesn't mean you don't take him until he's 32. But also,
no,
I think
wrong.
If Luka doesn't keep playing past 32, it's because Luka doesn't want to play past 32. Because
here's the thing with Luka and with Joker too. Those guys are going to be able to continue to play despite the physical limitations because neither one of their games is predicated on anything but neck up stuff. Yeah. Luka isn't jumping out of the gym.
Luka can barely dunk.
So the moment you're going to tell me what's he going to lose a half second or a couple of inches on his jump shot, he doesn't jump anyway. His game is not about physical prowess. It is the skill that you can't measure, the things that get past the flab and the baby fat that he does because he knows how to do it. He doesn't have to lose the weight. That's going to allow him to play till he's 40 if he wants to. Injuries will not stop his career.
No, I don't think so
it
either.
Won't. Larry Bird played 5 years longer than the average human because his game was never predicated on jumping over stuff. He was just smarter than you.
All right, I got to tell you about Carbach. And if you're smart, if you're Luka and you're drinking beer, you want to be drinking Carbach. That's the other thing. And Luka's probably not going to have access to Carbach now that he's in L.A. in Dallas, he could drink that. He could drink that Ziegenbach, and now he's going to have to drink some scuzzy L.A. beer. Gross. But while you're here, you get to drink Karbach. That's part of the great thing about being a Texan is you've got easy access to it, particularly here in San Antonio. When Karbach first decided to make the move outside of Houston, San Antonio was their primary market choice. They said, we got to get our beer all over this city, and they have done just that. So obviously it's in the H-E-Bs and the liquor stores, but it's in most of the bars, and or the restaurants that you're going to anyway. They've got the Crawford Bach, Ziegenbach, Hopadillo, which is their IPA, their flagship IPA, and their best seller now, the Love Street, the Kolsch-style blonde ale that is so easy drinking. And again, you can really find all over San Antonio. So if you're looking to upgrade your beer game, you're looking to drink something a little more flavorful, a little better than what you've probably been drinking, when you're out and about this weekend, ask your bartender, please, buddy, make it a Karbach.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now boarding Group A. Please have your boarding passes ready to scan. If your phone is cracked, old, or was chewed up by your Chihuahua travel companion, please refrain from holding up the line. We ask that you kindly not be that guy, and instead simply go to Verizon and trade in any phone from their top brands in any condition on any unlimited plan for the new Samsung Galaxy S25 with Galaxy AI.
With new line on my plan. Additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Have you ever done a jingle, Pat Green?
It's my only jingle experience. My first line is, "This is the worst thing I've ever heard." The engineer raised his clipboard up over his head and smashed it onto the soundboard. Buttons scattered like Legos across the room. And then my violin player goes, "He wrote that jingle, man."
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Jackson Hewitt wants you to save money on tax prep. We're saving money by having our intern rap in this commercial.
Don't stress, Jackson Hewitt's got expert tax prep, $149 or less. Yo, some tax guys lie about price. They got hidden fees, that ain't nice. Ain't nice. Don't ignore MC Kevin's rhyme, cause this deal's for a limited time. $149.
For tax prep that's $149 or less, hurry into Jackson Hewitt today.
No cap.
Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Hey, San Antonio. Multiple tours overseas, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training toward our low-cost degree and certificate programs. We call that credit where credit is due. For over 75 years, our dedicated success coaches have been helping service members achieve their goals. Get started with local support and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATS.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson from my good friends over at Prize Picks. Hoops are here, baby. It's time to turn the page and start playing games we can win. And now you can win up to 1,000 times your money over on Prize Picks just for doing what you love, watching basketball and picking those that you like. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money on sports action. There's over 10 million of us doing it. You should be there too. And right now, there's no better time to get in on the hoops action. If you think Steph Curry can get more than 5 3-pointers this week, now's the time. Is the freak going to get 35? I don't know. I do know this. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5, and you don't even need to win. You can receive a $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. And have you ever played Taco Tuesday? That's right. Each Tuesday, Prize Picks offers promotions that can lead to big payouts. Here's how you play. Go download the app today and use the code ALAMO to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. I'll say it again. Download the app, use the code ALAMO, and get $50 instantly after you play your first lineup. Prize Picks. Go run your game.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
At the Institute for Functional Health, we're dedicated to helping you live life fully, playing with your kids, golfing, and feeling great without relying on pills. We're not about treating symptoms temporarily. We're about extending your health span, the years you live in good health. I'm Dr. Torres, and for over a decade, my team has transformed lives by tackling health issues at the root. Tired of medications without real answers? Take control of your health with us. Call 210-468-1891 for a free Discovery Day consultation or visit IFFhealth.com. Improve your health span today.
If you missed the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you missed this.
I got another quick question. Do all guys, or is it just me? When you have to do that at your house, I mean, it's a process, right? It's a 20-minute adventure.
Why would you sit in there any longer than you have to?
Well, because it's the only time that a guy gets some alone time. You can look at whatever you want. You don't have to worry about it.
What are you watching that you can only watch in the bathroom?
Ride home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Oh, we're gonna see some guitar tonight, baby.
Oh, the best out there.
Old Gary gonna be playing for us tonight at the Aztec. It's not unfortunately we're general admission, so we're not gonna be able to watch it like an old person concert.
Well,
I want to just have a seat and not do anything, but now I'm gonna have to stand up.
The good news is it's a good venue, no matter where we are.
I've never been to the Aztec.
See who's opening for him today.
But yeah, I'm very, very excited about this show. I've been waiting for this thing. Gonna melt your face with that git fiddle of his. Your wife doesn't even know who he is.
Not really. I've been playing his music for the last. I mean, shred music for her. I mean, I don't think she quite.
She's not going to appreciate it.
I mean, she's a Stevie Ray with the best of us, but
she's going to say, it's just not for me. And then she's going to make you leave early. Oh, it's going to suck.
She won't part of it.
Where are we gonna pregame?
We're down close to the river. There's a great bar, the longest contiguous bar in Texas.
Really?
Right around the corner, which I think would be a fine place.
We're hitting up some old school places lately. We did Schultz in Austin last week.
Yeah, Schultz's. You know, I brought up that I was at Schultz's, and even my father, my 85-year-old dad, who tipped a few there at Schultz's over the years, said, "Oh, Schultz's, really?
Yeah.
All right,
good spot, man." So yeah, we're enjoying some fine culture tonight down in downtown San Antonio. People still talking about if injuries come, it's going to be. Listen, man, I get that's every NBA player though. Like there is no guarantee that Wemby is going to play until he's 40.
Whenever we talk about it, what do we say? From all things being equal, barring neck down issues, you can't project.
No,
I mean we could talk about Grant Hill and what could have been, but
and I get saying like, well, you want a guy who's at least living the healthiest lifestyle possible. Not everybody's going to live like Tom Brady or LeBron James, and because not everybody's goal is to play for the longest amount of time possible.
I'd hate to be the devil's advocate again, but I can see the Mavericks going, yes, I agree with you. You don't have to be that. But if you want me to pay you $1 billion over the next 15 years, I'd kind of like you to do some of this stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they went from little bit to begging to cajoling to finding a mentor or, finding a body man
or
sponsor and everything. And then finally it's time to negotiate the contract. The dude's missed a half a year already this year and doesn't show up for rehab appointments. And when I do see him, he's got a beer and a cigarette. And you go, and you're asking me to pay you $80 million a year.
No.
And you won't even do this.
That's the thing. I'm letting you pay me $80 million a year.
That's the attitude you should have.
Yeah.
What do you mean asking?
You're the only team that can get me. I'm willing to play for you if you'll just shut up and let me drink my beer.
AJ,
and go out there and drop 50 for you when I feel like it.
You just framed it. That's the frame where Nico doesn't get it. He allowed you to pay him to play for the Mavericks.
It
wasn't the other way around.
There are 29 other NBA franchises. There are 0 other Lukas.
Right. So you hit it. The crux to that was you forgot who you were and where you were.
Yep.
This is not.
And who you were dealing with.
What?
You can tell, who's the random player on the Mavericks. You can go to them and say, yeah, man, we need you to really step up your game a little bit. You're not doing the things that we need you to do. If you're talking to Spencer Dinwiddie, You can say, hey, Spencer, we really need you to stop smoking hookah and drinking beer. It's not a good look for us. You can go to Max Christie and say, hey, Max, we really need you to dedicate yourself, dedicate more time to your body. You go to Luka, you say, hey.
Maybe you put a filter on that cigarette.
How can we help you?
Maybe you smoke filters instead of straight Camels. Maybe you don't roll your own and go buy a brand.
You gotta remember. You've got to remember what you're dealing with.
As you were saying this, AJ, it struck me that this and it's hubris. This hubris, it strikes periodically through time, and we're dealing with it with Jerry. Jerry never wanted to admit that it truly is the coach. It's not always the players, and he's not one since Jimmy. There was Jerry Krause. Organizations win championships, the players don't. The arrogance of you drafted him, so you think you're that good. Yeah. And you're not. It's the guy you drafted. He's the guy, the Jimmies and Joes. It's not the X's and O's. And Nico fell into it. Look, I put together the team. The players only do as I ask. No, you are there at the willingness of the player, not the other way around, man. It is still a players' league, and will maintain it, even though the owners like to think it. The players make this league and always will.
And by the way, there are guys. Go to the NFL real quick. The idea that Vince Young was out drinking Louis all the time, and or Johnny Football was flying off to Vegas and partying, and then those guys were underperforming. I get that frustration. Like, hey, we made a big investment in you. It's not working out. But with Luka, it's like, it's working out. Yeah, we made this big investment, and you're like the best guy in the world.
Well, can you imagine?
Who cares if the guy smokes a little, drinks a little?
Think of Jerry Krause went to Michael and said, man, and at the time the money he was making was a lot. Said, paying you $40 million, maybe you only play 18 holes a day. Yeah, instead of 56 holes a day, maybe on game day you only play 18.
And let's cut back on the cigars and
then Michael. They didn't ask Michael that.
No,
Michael, if you'll just only play. No, they didn't. Michael, this is the most we can pay you, and trust me, if we could pay you more, we would.
I always think back to, and I know it's a different world, but the fact that Babe Ruth was like the greatest player in the world and was like schnocker. Mickey Mantle would get schnockered before the game and then go out and hit 2 home runs. It's like, okay, what are you going to tell him? Like, change?
Well, no, but that was the accepted and made you a man.
Exactly. Maybe this is how. Where's Luka come from? In a place where this.
Well, there is the other side.
This is what men do, and where I'm from.
And I have always been an advocate of, man, Luka, if you just get in shape. I'm not saying get ripped. If you just drop 15 pounds, that's every time I've seen him, and I still feel like, dude, if you would drop 15 pounds, or at least drop
but you've already
about
said it. You've already said it
inches.
best. You've already said it best. Luka's game isn't reliant on his body.
But you can't help but go, you're so good now. And if you dropped 15 pounds and just added a little bit of quickness, what you could be next would be the likes of which, I mean, we're gilding the lily. He's already the likes of which we've never seen before, and he's doing it out of shape. And if you're around him every day and you know he's dealing with nagging injuries, that if he would just try to stay in shape, he wouldn't have to deal with it, which would add extra minutes, which would add extra points, would add to his legacy. It would be to benefit him. Now, it won't make him any more money because he's going to make the most money anybody can pay him the entire time in his career, but it would add to the stats. It would add to all these other stuff, and he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's good enough to go out and get you on his own 52, 55 wins no matter what.
Like I always think about like Kenny Stabler smoking on the sidelines and then like going out and throwing touchdowns. Like, could he have been better if he wasn't smoking?
Right.
Yeah,
but he was good enough. What else did you need? Super Bowl championships.
How much better you want me to be, bro? Leave me alone.
Huge plays, got it. And if you had a little fun before and after the game, you got that too.
Yeah. And then you're telling me, like, well, because you could be better, we don't want you around here? Okay. Well, I'll just go take my...
the mentality.
I'll go and take my B-plus game down the road and beat your ass for it later.
But you put it best about, you can say that to Dinwiddie. You can negotiate that way, even with Gafford.
Daniel Gafford, yeah.
You can still do those young guys, and you're right. And they will have to agree, yes, if I do that, I'm worth even more. But Luka's already worth the max. There's nothing more that he can offer that he can only enhance. There's nothing missing from his game. He can only enhance what he's got. What else do you want?
Nope.
And he will forever pay the price.
Like, imagine the Nuggets going to Joker and saying, hey, man, if you don't lose 20 pounds, we're going to get rid of you.
Which I promise you they told him at some point in his career. As a second-round draft pick that first year as a rookie, they were like, dude, if you want to make it in this league, you're going to have to lose this weight because you can't defend anybody. And then he proceeded to walk out and drop 15 dimes and hang 40 on the dude that he couldn't defend. And then you go, well, maybe we got to shift our paradigm. But I guarantee you, Joker has gone through that same thing. But the Nuggets are smart enough to go, well, we'll just live with it.
But, yeah, because, like, can you imagine the Nuggets going to him and saying, hey, man, it's either lose 20 pounds or we're going to trade you? Like, what do you say?
You know what, AJ? I imagine that conversation was brought at one point, and then Joker laughed at
one
him.
point, Joker became a guy that you can't say that to.
Well, now they laugh at themselves for even thinking it. But I guarantee you, there was a general manager, a scout, a coach that said, dude, you're going to have to lose some weight. You are so slow, you can't get down to court. And if you want to play in this league, you're going to have to do X and Y. And then Joker just went out and did the other stuff, and they go, all right, I'll accept this problem.
Yes.
We'll work around the fact that you can't defend anybody.
I don't know what vices, if any, that Wemby has. I mean, also, he's not old enough to do some of these vices. But, like, let's say Wemby has he really likes Cookie Crisp cereal, and he knows it's not good for him, and he eats 4 bowls of Cookie Crisp cereal every morning. Do you think the Spurs are ever going to go to Wemby and say, hey, man, now you got this deep vein thrombosis. We need you to either cut out the Cookie Crisp cereal or we're going to move you down the road?
Well, they have the right to ask. I mean, that's for the good of the team. We'd like you to do it. And when he goes, no, we'll go, well, we asked.
All right.
We
hey,
tried.
Man, yeah, but what you don't do is, like, if the player calls your bluff, you don't shove your chips in and say, all right, well, you're gone. It's crazy. It's crazy. Again, you can do it with some guys. You can't do it with Luka. They're going to rue the day. And the fact that they're still releasing these photos and, like, trying to justify – I'm not a Mavericks fan. I could care less about the Mavericks. But, like, I don't think any Mavericks fan has stepped back and looked at this and gone, you know what? We did the right thing here.
The fact that –
look at him with that beer. We did the right thing.
Well, looking at Cuban laugh during all this, just go, you know how bad things have gone. Because you know that Mark Cuban would have never in a million years let this happen. He'd rather lose 80 games than get rid of Luka.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He'd rather lose and keep this dude.
He said he'd rather divorce his wife.
Yes. and as a Maverick fan, you go, and you did this to us too for a couple of dollars.
Yeah.
Because he did. He sold out for, and I say a couple, for billions. But he did this when he gave up the control. That's the pain that came with it. And you can be mad at Mark, but Mark would have never done it.
Yeah, when I was in Houston, you think the Rockets wanted James Harden out at the Butt Naked Club every night? No, of course they didn't. But there's some things you just deal with. When the guy's putting up MVP numbers, you go, well, what are we going to do?
I saw Dirk getting interviewed about something on the periphery about this. And it's funny, every time when they brought it up, Dirk just started laughing. Because even now, I think a couple of weeks later, he still just cannot believe.
It's comical.
Like, oh, that's right. They traded. That's right. That wasn't a bad dream. We really did that, didn't we?
All right. Let's give away some tickets. Let's do the Yacht Rock Review. That's March 5th at the Aztec Theater. You want to go see all the yacht rock you can handle in one setting? It's going to be right there at the Aztec Theater on March 5th. Caller number 2, you're going to win 2 tickets to the Yacht Rock Review on March 5th at the Aztec Theater. And if you don't win those tickets, you can buy them at livenation.com. All right, we'll hit a break. Man, this show's flying by. That's good news. I'm going to need such a good nap today if I'm going to go out and get my face melted tonight. I got to get my sleep. I got to get my Z's. All right, let's hit a break. I'm going to tell you about Cerebral. And if you are a person who, I'll tell you what, man, I've been on, I keep telling myself I'm going to get rid of social media. I hate it so much. I hate Twitter.com, X.com. The people there are just miserable. And I will say this, when you see all the terrible things, it makes you go, what the hell's going on in this world? It's hard not to get wrapped up in it, man. It really is. And sometimes you spend some time on yourself and not worrying about how dumb everyone else is, it can really be good for you. And Cerebral makes it easier than ever to access dedicated therapists, doctor-prescribed medication, and the way they do it is through your in-network care. So you can focus on feeling better without worrying about the cost of therapy. You want to sleep better. You want to have better relationships. You're going through something big in your life. You change jobs. You're going through some personal issues. Whatever it is, Cerebral makes mental health care easy, accessible, and more affordable. They work with your insurance plan, and it lowers the cost so more people can now access the support that they need. Cerebral's also proud to be an official sponsor of the Spurs. And just like some athletes prioritize their physical health, not Luka, he likes to drink beer and smoke hookah, but mental health is just as important. And sometimes that means you got to drink beer and smoke hookah to be mentally healthy, I guess. But Cerebral's they're there to help you build a strong foundation for your overall well-being. So take your first step today. Visit Cerebral.com to see how affordable and accessible mental health care can be with your insurance. Cerebral, make time for mind time.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We have cleared one of our trouble spots. That wreck at 35 southbound approaching Walters just cleared. Still have this closure, 1604 westbound. New Gilbo over to Shanefield, far west side of town. Still closed with an accident. Now a 15-minute delay. Slow from Houseman, FM 1560. Still diverting traffic onto the frontage road. I-10 eastbound Ralph Fair, get reports of a stall right lane. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With AutoPay plus taxes and fees, plus $5 per line without AutoPay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Motorola Edge on us with 24 monthly bill credits and new line for well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 per line connection charge. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count. Because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team. Southern Recipe Small Batch.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio where I've practiced for more than 30 years. And San Antonio has really grown since I started practicing law. The risk of injury in a car crash today is greater than it's ever been, because every day we're forced to share our roads with 80,000-pound 18-wheelers and some truly dangerous drivers. If you or a family member is injured in a car crash, know this: the insurance companies are mobilized against you. They have highly trained adjusters and a long roster of attorneys with one job: pay as little as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have zero chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or my website, alawyerforus.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is back. Monday, April 14th at the Golf Club of Texas. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Spring Golf Classic, benefiting the Pan American Golf Association, is presented by Flight by Yingling, sponsored in part by Ensira.com and PPL Motorhomes. The Spring Golf Classic, Monday, April 14th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
This is Jason Minix, and you're listening to the home of the Texas Rangers, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Martin says he loves X. God, one day I'm not going to work in media, and I'm going to have no social media. No one will know who I am. It's going to be so great. So much better than now where I have social media and dudes with 40 followers say nobody knows who you are, you're a loser, to all their 40 friends or 40, I don't even know. But it's just a miserable world, the internet. It really is. It's the worst place, the internet.
I don't participate
in the internet.
Lively. Well, I mean, I do to the extent I have to, but it's more of a broadcast than an intake.
I really should. Yeah, I should really never even.
I don't respond to trolls.
I do. That's my problem. When people say dumb things, I always find myself wanting to let them know how dumb what they said was, and I really shouldn't.
Well, I feel like they're picking fights.
Oh, they are.
So.
And I think I'm also now known as someone who will engage with you if you're stupid. But that's on me. That's on me. I got to be better. I got to make better choices. It's my own fault. Bring it on myself, Rob. I bring it on myself. But you know what? I'm not going to let anybody take my joy. I'm living my best life. It's a Friday, Rob. We're having a good time. You know, we're talking about Luka and potential and what he could be if he were in better shape or whatever. That conversation's been around Zion really since he got drafted. Zion Williamson last night this is year 6 of Zion. Last night was his first career triple-double.
Well, yeah, but he's not here to get triple-doubles.
No, but, I mean, it is like it is a reminder that, man, this dude has, like, some real gifts. And
he's still – isn't he the most productive player per minute?
Per minute,
since he's gotten into the league?
No, I think in the history of the league.
Yeah, I mean – but he is the epitome of what people are afraid of if they pay Luka.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's part of the reason Luka's not a Maverick is Zion.
Yeah.
Because Zion, with every funny step, with every hiccup, with every sneeze, with every time he stumbles, with every time he jumps real hard, there is the, oh no, is he okay?
Yeah.
Forever. And that's going to stay that way until he goes without it for a couple of years. And, you know, and to his credit, we talked about it earlier. Steph Curry, for the first 4 years of his career, was dealing with injuries, couldn't get on the court, stay on the court. But once they finally figured it out and he found his rhythm, the rest is history. And that might be Zion. I think most of us would agree that it won't be. But if you're comparing the two, which you should, both of them are in the same boat. But the difference being, no matter how bad things have gotten, he is still a Pelican.
31 minutes is all he played last night because they're still, limiting how many minutes he plays. But the Pelicans also realize this is what we're in for. You know?
But I don't think there would be universal upheaval if they traded Zion.
No, I don't think so either because Zion hasn't been to an NBA Finals.
That's the difference.
Zion isn't the NBA scoring leader from last year. Like, there are differences, but it is.
But when you say that, I go, but he should be. He should be the scoring leader. He should take him to the conference champion title. He had Brandon Ingram. He had C.J. McCollum. They drafted Herb Jones. They had everything. He should have been there, and he wasn't.
And that's, to me, that's the guy you can be mad at.
Right.
And you can, but if you're a big fat guy and you're leading the league in scoring, or you're a big fat guy and you're winning NBA titles like Joker, like, who cares? You're doing the thing you're supposed to do. You're doing the job.
And he hasn't. But the same, he is the other side of the coin, where he is successful doing exactly that. And Zion hadn't been. But New Orleans isn't stupid enough to make that move until they absolutely have to.
No. And New Orleans got a win last night. They won at Phoenix.
Well, we're slump
Remember
busters.
the Phoenix was, what a crazy number that was. The Phoenix was like favored, but I mean, like 9.5 points. Laying 9.5 with the Suns.
The Spurs have now become a slump buster. You play us, suddenly you get on the good track.
Yeah. Well,
we did it for Detroit. We did it for Houston. We did it for New Orleans.
Everybody's winning games now once they play the Spurs. Now the Spurs back in action Tomorrow night in Memphis.
I hope this is the last time we play Memphis.
I don't think it is. I think they might have one more after this. But
I mean, they dang near ended Wemby's career or season early this year.
Yeah. No, it is the last time they play Memphis.
Yeah, they
played
them.
This is it.
This is number 3.
Yeah, it's the last game of the road trip. So Sunday, Spurs in town, and who welcomes them to the building? The Oklahoma City Thunder.
It's Pride Day. It is. It's
it
a
really?
Pride game. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm planning on. I think I'm going to go.
Are you?
I mean, how often do you get to see Shea? I mean,
That's true.
He's worth the price of admission on his own.
See Chet Holmgren. Yeah,
maybe we'll see Chet. I don't know, but I know we'll see Shea.
I'm guessing Oklahoma City wants, especially with.
We don't have any Wemby. Why would I play Chet in minutes he doesn't need?
Well, I'd play him because your guy has thrombosis and my guy's out here balling.
Well, I mean, I got other aspirations this year. Beating the third worst team in the league isn't one of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think we should roll out of bed with that one.
You're probably right. I might go on Tuesday to see them play Brooklyn because
you want to see a possible win.
I want to see someone's got to win. Someone's gonna get a win.
Keep in mind, we played a worse team in New Orleans, and that didn't happen.
That's true.
Time.
That's true. Maybe not. Well, those games were on the road. They were hamstrung there.
The home court,
not behind the crowd.
We'll have the Coyote. Yeah.
Go Spurs, go!
And the Allen B. Shepherd Glee Club singing at halftime. It should be a party.
2 shots. Which, by the way, that's the weirdest.
It is the most
tradition.
Embarrassing thing we do. I wish we stopped this. People come into town and go, "What was that? What was it? What?"
I swear, dude. The first game I went to with Rob, I was like, "Why did they say 2 shots every time they're shooting free throws? That's a weird
and it's
thing.
a recent thing. This hasn't been around. If it was like an Aggie tradition that's been around since the 1800s, no, this has been around for about 5 years.
What a weird.
It goes back to
weird thing.
The in-arena announcer, a guy named Sanford, who is now the announcer for the Rockets, was doing it here, and he started it. And I wish he'd have taken it.
Do they do that in Houston?
I don't know if they started it.
Any of you guys listening in Houston, let me know if they're doing every time a free throw attempt comes up, that the crowd goes 2 shots,
even when there's 3.
How's he responsible for that?
Because he was saying 2 shots, and then people started copying it. Jeez. It's how these. Why would you copy?
That's on Spurs fans.
I'm just saying.
Spurs fans,
I don't know how it began. It just did, and unfortunately, it still is.
Spurs fans, we got to stop doing that. You got to be better than that. That's a weird move. Nobody likes that. Everybody hears that and goes, "Huh?
What?"
I mean, and it's not making your team play better. I think the team will be better.
Well, he won a title when he did it.
I thought you said 5 years ago it started.
But I mean, he's been gone for about 4 or 5.
Okay.
But it started back when he was 14, 15. I mean, it's been a minute, but it hadn't been around for 30 years.
I don't like it. Listen, there's some traditions are meant to be changed. That's
I don't think it's going to go anywhere.
Well, if you're a Spurs fan doing that, stop.
2 shots.
It's the worst. 3
shots.
Or do you take 2 shots?
2 shots.
It's like, I mean, it's not like what's the alternative? It's not like there's going to be a 1-and-1. Of course it's 2 shots, dummy.
It's like when you go to church and you have the responsitory. It just tells everybody awake. 2 shots. Everybody there? Yeah. 2 shots.
I'm only saying 2. I'm only saying 2 shots if you put 2 down in front of me. 1, 2, 2 shots.
You're right. I prefer cold beer.
Yeah.
It's cold beer.
Now we do that every free throw. I'm down.
Hell yeah, Bubba.
Cold beer.
So will Luka.
See, that'd be the Luka chant.
Yeah.
On that second made free throw. Cold beer.
Joey says the 2 shots started at the Freeman Coliseum when we used to have a WNBA team.
Is that it?
That's what started it.
Maybe it was.
Wait, they made the lady basketball team play at the Freeman Arena?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or at the Elazon courts.
Imagine,
you could sell it out. It looked better.
I guess so.
Yeah, only like 1,000 people go, and they're still.
But I mean, you've got a floor. You've got everything is set up.
Yeah, but we had the tractor pulls going on in the.
Oh,
we got stuff going on, baby.
But they played there full time.
Yeah,
that's weird.
Why? I mean, what, like they were? You think there's a space problem?
No, I just think it's like
you think that they were filling the arena and we wanted to keep it intimate at Joe Freeman?
I mean,
dude, you got to pay rent on those buildings too.
Oh, he's saying when it was under construction. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that makes more sense. But it's like, imagine like that. You know, you're the women's basketball team, and they make you go next door where you're like. Your locker room has
you
like
play over there.
Your locker room has like a trough urinal in it. It's like
you laugh
from the 70s.
I guarantee you half the league was dealing with just that.
Oh yeah, it looks like
their locker room only had urinals.
Yeah,
I guarantee you they were dealing with that.
I imagine they I imagine it being like what's that? What's the movie with Will Ferrell where it's the tropics? What's it called? The ABA movie. I can't think of what it's called, but that's what I imagine it being like.
I'm saying, you think we're
40 fans? Yeah. What is that called? Semi-pro. Is that it?
There we go.
Semi-pro. Yeah. That's what I imagine the lady basketball team playing at the Freeman Coliseum being like. Although I mean, the Aces don't play in T-Mobile. So I mean, you don't want to. They play in that the Mick Ultra Arena there.
I didn't find it that disgraceful to play in Joe Freeman. I mean, you're playing in front of people. It's not a bad place to play. I guess it's just not. It's just not the.
In Houston, the gals played on the same court as the men. It was just like
and here too, they played at the Frost. But even if they hadn't, I'd rather play in front of a small building that's full than a big building that felt empty.
It's just funny that like there's this state-of-the-art building next door, and they're making you play in this.
You're better for the Freeman next door.
Yeah, why don't you guys go play in that?
Why don't you go over there? Because
hey, it's got real history. Built in WW2.
And no one's gonna be in there.
Hey, Elvis played in there, I think.
You guys won't bother anybody over there, and we can have the. We can have the Jelly Roll concert here.
Oh yeah.
We gotta play. It smells kind of like horse manure. Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah, well, that's we actually used the manure to glue the court down to the floor.
Well, that's for those of you who are unaware. When we return to the Frost Center on Sunday, it will have a marked odor of barnyard fun.
Oh, really? How long does it take to get out of there?
Well, they keep that dirt. The dirt, all that stuff, they pile it up with those barns behind. But there's the lingering odor of manure. Well, you always think there's going to be some manure, but there's not as much manure as you're going to deal with.
So they put the dirt in a barn until next year?
Yeah, you recycle the dirt. It's good dirt.
Yeah.
What would you do with the dirt?
Yeah, they put it somewhere.
You can't throw dirt away. You just pile it up and use it again next year.
I guess so. But I mean, if there's like, I don't know, I'd maybe go get some dirt that doesn't have poop in it.
Well, the poop dirt's the good dirt.
Okay.
That's the stuff you want to fall in. It's got a little give to it.
I don't really want to fall in that poop.
Well, I think if you're working in a farm, you're kind of used to a fair amount of manure. Like I said,
yeah, but I mean, like,
you assume there's going to be some manure in just about everything you do.
If you were going to fall down, would you want to fall down in poop or not in poop?
Well, depending on how far I was falling.
Off of a horse.
Is my alternative like cactus?
Your alternative is just clean, fresh dirt.
Well, I'd choose that, but like I said, it's all relative. If I fall on one side and I'm falling in a bunch of poop, but it's not cactus, I'll take the poop.
I would take the poop too, but but if I had the choice between falling into clean dirt and poop dirt, I would fall in the clean dirt.
Because I'm not sure most of us tender feet would know the difference.
The thing is, it's embarrassing to fall off your horse.
I think that's a safe assumption.
It probably hurts to fall off your horse.
That's a long way down.
I've never fallen off a horse, but I imagine if I did, I would be embarrassed and it would hurt. The only thing that can make it worse is also being covered in poop.
Well, if it's soft and wet poop, yes. Dirt poop, you just brush off and call it a day.
Right.
But I'm just saying, when you show up on Sunday, there's going to be a distinct odor. It's just part of the plan, part of the fun.
Chris says, honestly, they need to bring back WNBA to San Antonio. Austin trying to get one. Why? Did people
so we
go
can
to
see Caitlin?
Did people go to the games when it was here?
That's why they're in Vegas.
I didn't know they had games.
You see,
the Stars. You don't remember the Stars. We want a title.
That's my point.
Didn't you start off as the Silver Stars? Yeah, and they changed?
It was too many letters. It cost too much to market. It was cheaper to go Stars.
You know, it
sounded like a dance team.
Well, it was SASS.
Yeah.
SAS.
SAS?
And see,
yes. We're the SAS.
SAS is also a shoe company.
Yeah, SAS.
Oh, yeah. But with the second S, now there's no copyright infringement.
Well, there wasn't the first time either.
Just
I mean,
kidding.
acronym. But
It's ours.
did you know that Yeezy
We're
tried to buy?
SAS. We're San Antonio Sports Star. We're SAS.
We're SAS as well.
We're sassholes.
Yeah, see?
Yeah. We're sassies. And the lady listeners here are sassy lassies. That's what I like to say.
Is that what you like to say?
Yeah.
I'm sure they like hearing it.
Yeah. Like any lady who listens to our show, you're a sassy lassie. That's what we're going to go with from now on. That's my that's my new thing.
Yeah, go with it.
Alexandra.
It's going to work for you.
She's a sassy lassie.
Yeah.
That's right.
I don't want to be known as that.
And the dudes, sass holes.
Well, that defines a lot of them.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Next hour, which is the third hour of our program, we're going to give away some tickets to Nate Jackson, the Super Funny World Tour, June 20th at the Aztec Theater. It is even funnier than the Funny World Tour. Also funnier than the Kind of Funny World Tour. This is the Super Funny World Tour, and it really is a world tour. This dude's been all over the place. He's been almost to as many venues as Rob. Rob, now this guy probably flew first class to Denmark, not in the back of the plane like
he's worthy of
like a
far
plebe.
better seats.
Rob had the poverty vacation to Denmark. It was like, oh, so embarrassing.
Sat with us.
Yes. Yeah, he's like, I could barely afford a ticket to Denmark.
Swarthy people.
I mean,
Was that $4,000?
I mean, it wasn't even. I was there for 5 days. It wasn't even a real vacation. It was like it was more like a long weekend. And you know what? I spent 2 of those days flying, not first class. I mean, it's like how do
With
you
chickens and everything?
How do these people live?
These people didn't bring the right caviar. They served it at the wrong time. I mean, there were only 6 settings at lunch. I mean, these
filthy
the pores out there.
Oh,
shameful, really.
And that's the worst. You know how like the you're saying the Frost Center after the rodeo, you can smell it. When you get off an airplane full of pores, you feel poor for like the next 2 days.
Oh yeah.
You smell
It's
like ramen.
I've been around all those pores.
Smell like ramen.
Alexandra's been to Denmark, Finland, and Sweden. She says she's a sassy lassie.
She's been amongst all
sassy
those
lassie,
blonde, blue-eyed, angry folks.
All right, we'll be back. Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
On your ride to work, it's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson, KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Getting your guaranteed maximum refund with TaxSlayer feels like saddling up and chasing down.
Look at that sweet moolah!
That big old cash cow.
Look at all that money!
File with TaxSlayer Simply Free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. Simply Free is available to a limited number of taxpayers. See TaxSlayer.com for eligibility.
Right now at North Park Chevrolet. Own a new 2024 Silverado Crew Cab posted at $33,999 or lease for $0 down and $370 a month. Get 1.9% financing on all new 2024 Colorado trucks. A new 2025 Equinox LT is posted at only $25,999 plus 2.9% financing. Together, let's drive at North Park Chevrolet. 10 minutes outside Loop 410 in Castroville or at npchevy.com. Must qualify for financing offers. Call 830-355-2107 for full price and offer details.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio where I've practiced for more than 30 years. And San Antonio has really grown since I started practicing law. The risk of injury in a car crash today is greater than it's ever been because every day we're forced to share our roads with 80,000-pound 18-wheelers and some truly dangerous drivers. If you or a family member is injured in a car crash, know this. The insurance companies are mobilized against you. They have highly trained adjusters and a long roster of attorneys with one job: pay as little as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have zero chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or my website, alawyerforus.com.
Hey, listen up, San Antonio. Many of the successes you've had began with a great opportunity. Now, here's another one. Get started on your degree or certificate in San Antonio. Choose from more than 135 degree and certificate programs, faster onboarding, and more from University of Maryland Global Campus. Get personalized local support services and take online or hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
With basketball season in full swing, make watching the game a little bit more exciting with your chance to win money with Underdog, one of the leading sports apps, and you can play in Texas. You can win up to 1,000 times your money with Underdog, playing the pick'em game where you pick higher or lower on predicted stats. You can play with as little as $1, and if you get everything right on your pick'em entry, you could win up to 1,000 times your money. Yep, turn $1 into 1,000 with your hoops knowledge. Download the Underdog app and sign up using my promo code STAR to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona and Massachusetts, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you tried online gaming. Who knew 12-year-old boys could be so mean? And where did they learn to swear like that? 2 hours of losing to these underage trash talkers, and you're starting to question if maybe you really should stick to pickleball and other boomer stuff. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Still working that trouble spot at 37 southbound Houston Street downtown. Right lane blocked with that crash has you slow from 35. Loop 410 northbound at Ingram. This stall is now off to the shoulder. And road work continues on 35 lower level southbound Main to just past Cesar Chavez with the roadway reduced to 1 lane. Now, if you guys see something we're not talking about, call us on the traffic tip line so we can check it out. 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
I've decided not to return to the sidelines this season. That's a quote from Gregg Popovich's statement he released yesterday, saying he will not return. The Cowboys appear to be close to signing defensive tackle Osa Odigizua. Numbers reportedly coming in just above $21 million per year. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Like to make you wait. Yeah. Morning Huddle, 94.1. The combine in full effect yesterday, which...
God, it's boring.
It's so bad.
I
it's
tried to
so
watch it.
So bad.
Oh.
And none of the players you care about are participating in anything. It just sucks. Like, they need to stop trying to make it like a big made-for-TV event and just...
And they're whispering like it's they're on the putting green.
Yeah,
like,
what's that all about?
And, you know, last year he majored in economics, and his girlfriend liked to cook him eggs every Thursday.
The one thing I saw was everyone was around Travis Hunter, and then there was some other people that were there was like one person, and nobody was in front of him. And
this is such a made for the media kind of event. The only thing, and yesterday I guess because it was the fat guys running, we had.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So I like the drills. I like the receiver drills when they're running down the middle of the court and they have to catch balls coming at them from every direction. I think that's kind of funny for about 5 minutes. But even that, I'm already out. I'm already done. Let's go ahead and draft.
Yeah. It's yesterday we were talking about Derek Carr yesterday and his long-term standing. And how that list had him as the 31st best quarterback going into next season, which is absurd. But the New Orleans Saints used one of their prospect meetings yesterday to talk to Cam Ward. They have the 9th pick. Do you see teams trading up like to get these quarterbacks, or do you like? Think about what teams have given up in the past to trade up. We're talking like multiple firsts.
Yeah, and no, I wouldn't shock me. You only need one.
It would shock me.
Well,
it really would shock me if anybody looked at these quarterbacks and said, "I've got to give up future drafts to get these." Like, that's why it shocked me when the Panthers traded up to get Bryce Young. I was like, no way.
Well, there is part of it. Like, I'm only going to be GM for so long. I got to swing for the fences. And if I don't get a quarterback now, I'm going to be out of here in 3 years no matter what. So I'm going to waste all my capital on this. I get it. And only need one team to do it. The one variable this year that I don't think a lot of people expected was the availability of a couple of higher-end old quarterbacks that might not force you to go draft a quarterback right now. You can go find a bridge. You might have to pay for it, but there's guys floating around like Cousins and Stafford, and it appears Derek Carr might be available if you go to Darnold. So I don't necessarily this year above all need to really take a huge risk. So the likelihood I think is less than most years, or at least less now that Stafford's kind of floating around out there. But it only takes one crazy cat to completely throw this thing off.
It does.
You know what I mean? So one dude. Well, it might be
one who gets a wild hair. And
it might be Mickey there in New Orleans. It might be somebody decides to jump up and go chase a quarterback, and then it's just like your fantasy football draft. Then there's suddenly a run, even though it doesn't make any sense.
And again, the Raiders wouldn't shock me. They do things crazy all the time. But
well, what would you? I would if it was me. And I don't know, just name your average to bad team, and you go, would you draft one of those guys and get locked into them for 5 years? Because first round draft pick, or would you rather go pay Kirk Cousins a whole lot for a year and figure out next year? I'd rather pay Cousins a year. I look at this as a kind of a delay. I like this.
This is what I was saying about the Titans, who have the very first pick. I can either draft Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders, and that's my quarterback for the next 5 years. Or next year, I know if I draft Cam Ward this year, I'm gonna win 5 games if things go well, and I'll be picking high again next year. Or I can draft the best player that's out there and probably still win 4 or 5 games and have a lot better shot at. I shouldn't say you'll have a lot better group of quarterbacks to choose from next year, presumably.
And whether you go get another one or you just play the dude you drafted 2 years ago and let him play out the string, you're still going to be about the same place. So I don't think it'll be radical that there's going to be a lot of movement up there, but I promise you there's a GM sitting in his office today scheming.
I will say this, though. The way, and it's so rare, but we've seen it now back-to-back years, quarterbacks come in and have such an instant impact. C.J. Stroud and Jaden Daniels had such massive early convince teams like, oh, this is the way. The long-term history says it doesn't happen that way.
Not, and that's why I'm so gun-shy. I've seen it happen 2 years in a row. The chances of it happening for a third, even smaller.
We've just seen probably the 2 best rookie seasons from a quarterback in history happen in back-to-back years. Ironically, neither one of them was the first pick in the draft. I think that last year's draft and the year before's draft were in a totally different stratosphere than this year's draft class, like the quarterback class. I don't see it with Cam. You know what though? And here's the thing about Cam Ward, and I know that Cam Ward has a lot of supporters here in this town. So I'm not like trying to badmouth Cam Ward like he's going to be a bust in the NFL. I would just never in a million years take him with a top 5 pick. Cam Ward was one of these.
Taken in the
he 100% will. But Cam Ward was a 0-star recruit who started out at a very, very small school, not a D1 football program, and worked his way up to what he is. And a lot of people are going to look at that and go, so was Josh Allen. And maybe that's what
and there's some Josh Allen to him. There's some gunslinger to him that wasn't ever beaten out of him. You know, there's something about getting good late that allowed him to make those kind of decisions that you kind of beat out of the young quarterback and you allow from the older maturing quarterback. And Cam was able to kind of to start that way. And then there's something to that kind of game that will translate to the pros. And I think there's some freedom from being that. But the moment any scout starts to apply Cam Ward to Josh Allen, go hire another scout. He's not Josh Allen.
The road to Josh Allen is littered with Trey Lances. That's what I would warn you about.
As soon as your scout says he reminds me a lot of Josh Allen, let me tell you why. Walk out of the room. He's not. So, but he is this year's Josh Allen, and that's worth a top 5 pick.
Well, again, I think this is going to be this quarterback class is going to get a couple guys fired.
And keep in mind, though, the GM at Tennessee goes, what do you think? It's going to be worse than my mayonnaise king?
No, it can't be.
I mean, how bad could it be? It won't be that bad.
No, it won't be that bad. I would hope not. God, please let. I hope Cam Ward is better than Will Levis. That would be really shameful.
If he is that bad, I'll be right in this position again next year, and the next guy who takes this seat will be making the same.
I was going to say the next guy is making the decision. If Joe Shane drafts Cam Ward and he just becomes, which by the way, you know who was going to be just like Josh Allen was Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones ended up not being Josh Allen.
I think we need to talk about Joe Shane and the wide open opportunities that he has. And then, you know, the Giants chasing Stafford, I think, is poetic in 1,000 different ways.
I think the Giants, I mean, that's the thing. For Joe Shane, if you go get Matt Stafford, at least now it's like everyone would have done that.
Please go get Matt Stafford.
Everyone would do that. Like, so you can't blame him. If you draft Cam Ward and you fail, it's like
he won't do that. They're not going to draft another Danny Dimes. They're gun shy. They're going to go the next time they draft a quarterback. If Joe Shane is involved, everybody will agree it's the best quarterback because he can't afford to do anything other.
Can't afford to miss.
He can't go Danny Dimes again. He can only go last year. He can only go with the odds on he's the quarterback. There's no question. Everybody knows he's the man. That's the only guy that Shane will draft. He can't afford to have any naysayers.
Elsewhere from the combine last night or yesterday, I guess, so many guys sat out that it's hard to even like rank what these guys did. But there were a couple guys who probably made themselves some money. That Derek Harmon running a 4.940 at what, like 6'4" and
he's a big old boy,
300 pounds or whatever it is. That'll get you some money. That there's a kid from Toledo that I wasn't ultra familiar with him. Darius Alexander was his name, or is his name. He ran a 4.95 40 at 305 pounds. And also had a 9-foot 3-inch broad jump. Like, that's an athlete, son. That is a hell of an athlete. So there's a couple of these guys who decided to go. All right, I'll go do some things, and they made themselves some money.
Where's he from?
Toledo.
See, that's why the combine exists. It ain't for the Georgia dudes. It's for the Toledo dude.
Yeah. But it says here now, grading the top defensive line. This is according to CBS. They gave Derek Harmon an A. It said this was an opportunity to assert himself as one of the top interior defenders in the draft class. Considering multiple peers opted not to participate, he was a top performer through the drills, measured as one of the bigger bodies, made himself a bunch of money.
Good for him.
I'm with you, man. And it says this Alexander, they give him a A-. No, they give him a B+. It says, following a similar path as Carl Brooks did out of Bowling Green a few years ago. Brooks played on the edge for the Falcons, but had size to move inside at the next level. Alexander's continued to show well through the pre-draft process, and is a dude who's probably made himself some money now. Good on him, man. I like seeing guys like that who, again, while all these big star guys are like, I'm not going to run, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, These guys who are like, I'm fighting from every.
He's going to have to.
Every bench press rep makes me another $1. I'm doing them, baby.
Well, because he's going to have to show some serious ability to overcome his tape playing against the other dudes that Toledo was playing against. He's playing against some lessers, so he's going to have to really show.
One guy that's interesting is that J.J. Pegues, the guy that was the tight end at Auburn and then switched to defensive line at Ole Miss. He is doing defensive line drills at the Combine. He's also working out as a fullback. This is a dude who's like, I'm going to be in the NFL. You guys tell me what to do. It reminds me of, remember Blake Bell?
The Belldozer?
Yeah.
The quarterback, linebacker, running back?
He was the quarterback it was at Oklahoma.
Yeah,
I forget who was it Sam Bradford was the starter back then?
Or was Baker there?
It might have been Baker.
I think Baker was there.
But Blake Bell's job, his job was essentially like the tush push.
Yeah,
he was like if you need 1 yard, he was going to get it for you.
Belldozer.
And then the Chiefs had him for a long time as a tight end. Mm-hmm. And he would occasionally come in and get under center and just dive forward. But
I feel bad for dudes.
He knew he was never going to play quarterback in the NFL. He's like, I'm going to find a way. Good for you, man.
Normally you get a contract out of it.
You get an NFL check.
But to try to change positions at this
It
point,
sucks.
that's a big ask. And for Pegues, that just tells you what kind of athlete he is.
Oh, yeah.
The prognosis ain't good for a dude that doesn't have a position coming into the league.
No.
Like we don't even know what position he's going to play.
Nope. It talks about some of the losers from the process, and there's this guy, Zeke Biggers.
It's a good name.
Looked terrible in his transitions. Tomka Hemingway from South Carolina struggled with footing throughout a lot of people are complaining because they've got the pellets, the new pellets, and guys are falling all over the place. It's like, maybe that, and again, that's the gift and the curse, I suppose, of trying it. But yeah, we'll see. I think today is quarterback day, right?
Yeah, today should be a fun day. I like the quarterbacks and the receivers. Those are at least you get to see some finesse along with just away from the grunt of the speed and the bench press.
Yeah. And then there's one guy who, be careful. Now we're saying the next Myles Garrett.
Uh-oh.
Shamar Stewart.
Well, he's coming from the right town to say that.
Yeah. Now, what do you do?
You run like a 4.7, 4.69 40.
In 3 years at Texas A&M, he had 1.5 sacks in all 3 years. This is not massive production.
Well, keep in mind the position he plays.
But became the 4th defensive lineman to ever weigh more than 260 and log at least 40 inches in the vertical. And one of the guys who did that was Myles Garrett. Landon Jackson did it this year. So there's 2 guys did it this year. Landon Jackson and Shamar Stewart, the only guys who had ever done that before. 2 number 1 overall picks. Myles Garrett, 2017. Mario Williams, 2006. Wow. These are freak athletic performances that they'll get you that money, Bubba.
He's going to make it. I mean, they knew he was a first-round draft pick, but now we're talking top 10, which...
It's wild, man. Stewart had a sub 4.6 40. Now Myles Garrett had 32.5 sacks at Texas A&M over 3 years there. That's pretty strong. 7 forced fumbles on top. His production was out of sight, but they gave the relative athletic score. It's a site that grades out NFL prospects' combine performances relative to other players at their position, both past and present. Gave Stewart a 9.99 out of 10 overall, the 3rd highest relative athletic score amongst 1,802 edge rushing prospects since 1987.
Well, think about this draft. You've got Stewart's going to be a top 10 pick. The kid that started out at A&M that transferred to Ole Miss is going to be a top 10 pick. Nick Scorton that was at Missouri that transferred to A&M will be a first round. That's 3 defensive linemen that A&M brought in on that giant class, that Jimbo class. These are the guys that are all graduating coming out now. It shows you what is required to win in the SEC. that when A&M was spending all that money, where did they spend it? Right on the defensive line. And 3 of those guys are going to be drafted in the first round.
The top, the similar scores to Stewart's, those Raz scores, Garrett, Javon Curse, Jadeveon Clowney, Jalen Phillips. Dude, you've got some good company. So these are the guys that are making themselves money right now at this combine.
And it matters, but I also remember watching Tony Mandrich set all kinds of records.
Sure.
I mean, it's underwear Olympics in its purest form. And these, what did Al McGuire, the old basketball coach, used to say? Well, the guys look good in the airport. Let's see what they do on the court. So these guys look good in the airport.
You're right. But you know what? A lot of these guys, people will look back at Jadeveon Clowney and go, "Oh, Jadeveon Clowney wasn't that good." Jadeveon Clowney was a good player for a long time.
Absolute monster, yes.
And Jadeveon Clowney was he ever – did he live up to being the number 1 pick? No. But
did he? I mean, he had his couple of Pro Bowls. I think he kind of did, but it was a slow burn. He just never led the league at anything.
And I'll tell you this, as someone who watched his entire career in Houston, I bet if you asked J.J. Watt what helped make him what he became, he would say having Jadeveon Clowney on the other side, because it was way more. It was tough to double team JJ because Jadeveon was so good.
I don't know. Does Texan fan hold? Are they upset with Clowney?
I think most Texans fans look at Jadeveon Clowney as like a disappointment.
I never felt that way. I mean, no, he didn't come out and lead the league in sacks, but that guy was in it and was a top tier player for as long in every team he played for. No, I think he was a good number 1 pick.
All right, let's hit a break. When we come back, I'll give away those Nate Jackson Super Funny World Tour tickets. It's June 20th at the Aztec Theater. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Spring Golf Classic is back. Monday, April 14th at the Golf Club of Texas. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Spring Golf Classic, benefiting the Pan American Golf Association, is presented by Flight by Yingling, sponsored in part by Ensira.com and PPL Motorhomes. The Spring Golf Classic, Monday, April 14th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
What is GMTVCC? It's a mouthful, but translation for GMTVCC.com is Give Me the VIN Classic and Collector Cars. It's a brand new buying division of Give Me the VIN, but it's for classic and collector cars. Experienced pro buyers will appraise an offer on your 1970 Hemi Cuda or 1988 Fox Body Mustang or your granddad's old 1985 square body Chevy truck. GMTVCC.com is where you go to get real money for classic and collector cars to get paid now. That's GMTVCC.com, brought to you by Give Me the VIN.
The Gomez Law Firm has been San Antonio's trusted law firm for 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us today. Jose, tell us about the cases you all specialize in.
We do ride-sharing cases, we do 18-wheeler cases, work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you or your family have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, you need to visit joegomezlaw.com. Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now boarding Group A. Please have your boarding passes ready to scan. If your phone is cracked, old, or was chewed up by your Chihuahua travel companion, please refrain from holding up the line. We ask that you kindly not be that guy, and instead simply go to Verizon and trade in any phone from their top brands in any condition on any unlimited plan for the new Samsung Galaxy S25 with Galaxy AI.
With new line on my plan. Additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Ooh, got a dash light on? The AutoZone free Fix Finder service can read your check engine, ABS, and other warning lights to help you find the fix. You'll get an easy-to-read report with clear next steps. And we can recommend a trusted local shop if you need one. It's the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes. The free Fix Finder service with shop referral. Only at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson from my good friends over at Prize Picks. Hoops are here, baby. It's time to turn the page and start playing games we can win. And now you can win up to 1,000 times your money over on Prize Picks just for doing what you love, watching basketball and picking those that you like. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money on sports action. There's over 10 million of us doing it. You should be there too. And right now, there's no better time to get in on the hoops action. If you think Steph Curry can get more than 5 3-pointers this week, now's the time. Is the freak going to get 35? I don't know. I do know this. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5, and you don't even need to win. You can receive a $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. And have you ever played Taco Tuesday? That's right. Each Tuesday, Prize Picks offers promotions that can lead to big payouts. Here's how you play. Go download the app today and use the code ALAMO to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. I'll say it again. Download the app, use the code ALAMO, and get $50 instantly after you play your first lineup. Prize Picks. Go run your game.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, the NFL Combine continues. What's going on with the Cowboys? We'll talk to John Machota.
He'll join us at 5:15 with the Cowboys news, plus all the other drama coming out of the Combine, like arguments between media types at the coffee shop.
You might call that a vente. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime.
Chris Graham says, watch out. Low-key, nobody's talking about Jackson Dart. He's going to be a good fit for someone in the later rounds. I got news. Jackson Dart's going to be he's going to be the third quarterback taken.
Yeah, we've talked about him. He could be the star of this quarterback class. He's got every tool.
For where they say these guys are going to be taken, like, for me, if I could have Jackson Dart in the second round or one of these two quarterbacks in the first, give me Jackson Dart in the second round all day. I would not take any of these guys in the first round, but for bang for the buck, yeah, I like Jackson Dart. I like Dylan Gabriel. I like Jalen Milroe. I don't like any of them in the first round, but you give them to me rounds 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm into that. Quinn Ewers even. Give me Quinn Ewers in round 4. I'm good with him.
Of all of them, though, I think that the most pro potential is Dart. Doesn't mean that Milroe can't turn into something, and it doesn't mean Ewers isn't going to be all right, and Gabriel certainly has his skill set. But when I look at guys that, just to me, look like what a pro quarterback should look like and do the things that a pro quarterback did on the field, it's Jackson Dart. Good feet.
He's got some Bo Nix to him.
Yeah,
it's not
feet.
sexy.
No, good feet, good arm strength, gets out of trouble. He's got just enough arrogance to make a play. You know, there's something, but there's also some Zach Wilson to him. He could go that direction too. There's something, a little bit of the California quarterback, and those California quarterbacks don't always turn out.
The road is littered. The road to Josh Allen is littered with Zach Wilsons, too.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of Zach Wilsons out there that looked awfully good in the airport.
Christopher says Quinn's going in the first round. No, Quinn is not going to. If he does, then someone's made a huge tactical mistake.
The guy who traded Luka.
I would be shocked if Quinn Ewers went. If Quinn Ewers goes in round 1, that'd be crazy.
Well, the only reason you would do that
gets you fired
is if you wanted to keep him an extra year. You know what I mean? The only reason you do that,
like what the Ravens did with Lamar.
Yeah, just so you get an extra year, so you don't have to pay him. But you know, eventually he's going to be that good, and there's none of those guys.
I'd be shocked if Quinn Ewers got I'd be shocked if Quinn Ewers. If he goes in the second round, I'd be kind of surprised. Quinn Ewers' stock went down about as much as it could have this year, for considering he won almost every game he played.
Well, the best thing that could happen to any of these quarterbacks is to arrive as a fourth-round draft pick, where there's zero expectation and everything you offer is gravy, and the salary cap structure is such that they can pay you the appropriate thing as you learn. That's the best thing that could happen to any of these guys.
I think so too. Yeah, it goes like, but when you show up and you're supposed to be the next franchise, it's like
too much pressure and you don't have enough time.
Yep, makes it a lot tougher. What do you think is going to happen with Matt Stafford. He's now meeting with the Rams. I guess he and his agent have kind of have kicked the tires on the rest of the league. And now today, the Rams and Matt Stafford are going to sit down and say, okay, like I feel like he's going to say, like, okay, this is my research. This is what I'm coming back with. The Raiders and the Giants have both talked about 2-year contracts for Stafford that include $90 and $100 million guaranteed, according to sources. I can't imagine the Rams want to give Matt Stafford $100 million for 2 years.
Not even close. They're not even in the same ballpark. But there's your pay and then there's your perks. And I don't care how much money the New York Giants offer. And if the Giants are smart, they have leveraged everything they've got. They've dug into cushions. They're going to try to find every penny. But what's in it for Matt Stafford in New York? Seriously, what is in it for him? If he doesn't pan out, and
$100 million.
Well, okay, you get $100 million. There's a lot of guys who gotten paid and weren't happy. Now you will get the money, but if things don't go well, everybody that hired you is going to be fired. Shine will be gone.
But here's the thing, Rob.
I'm just saying you're going to be there for 2, and one of them, the guys that brought you in, every one of them will be gone the next year, and you're coming into a place that has no offensive line. You're look at what Aaron did. You're the same boat. You got more talent than Aaron did, but everything else feels very much the same. You got nothing to help you, and you're old.
Here's the thing. Matt Stafford has accomplished there's guys at the end who are playing for a ring, guys who never got one.
You think he's chasing money?
I just think that, I mean, if he's asking for $100 million from the Rams, then yeah, he wants money.
If I'm if I'm the Rams, like if you go there, you're leaving the game on a stretcher. Your last game, you are leaving feet first. You will not end your career healthy if you go there. Now the Raiders make so much more sense, because it's not quite as do or die, and it's not so much further down the road. I think he's going to end up in L.A. for a lot less money. Why would I go anywhere else?
I think he's going to play for the Raiders.
I think he's going to end up at the Raiders, even though the Rams are going to offer all that money, and you go, it looks good, but it ain't good for me, man. You're going to get me killed.
No, I don't think the Giants are going to offer that money. The Rams aren't going to offer.
No, the Rams are going to go half that.
Yeah, the Rams are going to say, dude, you can stay here and you can have a chance to win something, or you can go take this money. And I think Matt Stafford is going to go take money because he's already won. Matt Stafford's 37 years old. Most normal people realize they're not going to be at a high level in their 40s. Aaron Rodgers, for whatever reason, thought he was the exception to the rule, when the exception to the rule historically has been one person. And Aaron Rodgers, Matt Stafford, none of these guys are Tom Brady.
Well, in hindsight, remember, even though Brady left to Tampa, he looked at that offensive line and said, I can play behind those guys.
Yeah.
They got problems, but it ain't an offensive line.
But Matt Stafford realizes, I got 2 years left. I want to make as much money as I can in these 2 years.
Are you surprised that the Vikings weren't part of this? We're not hearing their name mentioned with Stafford?
Because the Vikings have just invested a first-round pick in a quarterback that they've already burned 1 year on. They got to see what they've got in him, and that means giving $100 million.
Well, I don't know if it would cost $100 million for him to go to the Vikings, because they're a lot closer to a Super Bowl. And
again, I don't think Matt Stafford cares about that now.
Well, maybe not. It just seems to me that the money is not where he needs to be. And because they're offering so much money at New York, then you suddenly go, well, is Darnold going to look over there? I mean, if they're going to offer $100 million to Stafford, how much are they going to offer to Darnold? If they're going to offer any, you know what I mean? If that kind of money is available from the Giants, the paradigm has shifted across the league.
I think that the Giants, their O-line isn't their biggest issue. I think their defense is bad. I think the Giants have other issues.
It ain't good for him.
I just don't think he's going to win there.
No, he's not.
But I don't think he cares at this point. If he cared about winning, he would take $25 million a year and stay in LA.
I think he might. I think they let him go take the tour, and he's going to come back and they're going, see what it looks like out there? You can go and make some money. Go ask what Kirk Cousins got. How did he feel this year? I mean, you can land someplace and everything looks good. Go talk to Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, you think you're going to change things?
But that money still spins.
If he's chasing the dollars, and he's played so long. I mean, he's probably got 500 in the bank.
But quite frankly,
in the bank.
I don't know that Matt Stafford, if Matt Stafford has his best season, are the Rams winning a Super Bowl?
Well, they're certainly closer with him than without him.
Yeah, but they're already talking about, okay, you had last year, you won your division, it was a good year. Now you're talking about we're going to move on from Cooper Kupp. It doesn't seem like the Rams are trying to add to this thing. It seems like the Rams are trying to kind of move on.
Well, I think they gave him the chance, and I think you brought up everything. And I do think if they hadn't beaten Minnesota, we'd be looking at this Ram year as a lot worse than it really ended up. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for that Minnesota Viking win late, that kind of said, they're better than we thought. It could have been almost an abject failure. But it seems to me that they've allowed Stafford the leeway of saying, look, dude, we're about to dismantle. Why don't you go look around? And if you want to come back and play with us, maybe we're not as bad off as we thought, but we're not going to pay you.
I'm with you, man. I think they're saying, hey, dude, the only reason they would let him do this is they know our window is done. We gotta kind of hit a reset, and you can either be here and ride it out, and we'll keep you around, but we're not going to pay you like you're Patrick Mahomes.
That's why if Super Bowl's not the thing, then I see the Raiders. But if there's even any whiff of trying to do it again, and you didn't talk to the Vikings, or the Vikings didn't reach out to you, it seems like that would be such a natural fit for just a couple of years as we still wait for Jay to get healthy. And, with a guy like Stafford, he might be banged up enough to where your backup gets some minutes.
I think the Raiders is the best spot for him because they're an indoor team. But I do think the Giants are probably going to end up being the ones who get him.
We talked about it earlier. I want him to land there because it's the same story. It's the same plot as Aaron Rodgers with a different kind of twist. But it's essentially the same idea. A guy who's coming to the biggest market in the country to try to fix the ship on something that has been slowly sinking for a decade. And can he be the one to do it? It will change the narrative, or certainly for Stafford, because that'll be twice he's landed someplace and lifted him. He's a Hall of Famer, but if he manages to do anything in New York, he'll be guaranteed that because of the market he's in and how things are magnified when you do things well in New York.
Let's see. Looking at PFF, the Raiders grade as the 22nd best offensive line. The Giants, they're going to be worse than that. Giants are 27th.
See, I mean, you're old and you can't move, man.
None of it's
good. This doesn't look like it. But on the other side, if you can just make the Giants respectable, you will be a god.
Yeah.
If you can just bring the Giants, you can beat Philly, Washington, and the Cowboys once next year, all three. You can roll through the East and win all three of those, at least one of them. You will be held in great esteem with a New York Giant fan just for doing that.
But you know what? Part of what can help you when you've got a bad offensive line is a quarterback who gets the ball out fast.
And they've got a good young wide receiver. Yeah.
Matt Stafford is always at the top of getting the ball out quick. He's like a 2.5-second guy, which is elite.
Well, then we're getting into the next step of this. Can the offensive coordinator bring the kind of game that will be effective for him? Because Danny Dimes seemed to be the long, slow developing offense where get back there and if nothing works, run. Where that's not going to be Stafford. Does he have a coordinator that'll do it? Can they go get the receivers to help him with that? I know they got one good young kid. I mean, they got one of the best young wide receivers in the game. So there's something to it.
Stafford, fourth quickest time to throw, 2.66 seconds, get the ball out on average. And LA, top 5 against non-blitz rushes. Do struggle against a blitz. 18.2% sack rate against a blitz. But again, he's a guy who typically gets the ball out pretty quick.
Don't go to New York. Or go to New York. I don't care. Cowboy fan? Either way, I'm down.
Who's boy, that would bring up a discussion. Who'd have the weakest quarterback in the NFC East if he goes to the Giants?
I mean, you've got a rookie of the year, an MVP, a former MVP, and Dak.
You've got 2 Super Bowl champions
and a rookie of the year,
and Dak.
The highest paid player in the history of the NFL.
Yeah, a dude who wears a boot to go fishing.
That is quite a pantheon of quarterbacks, though. We got the highest paid of all time.
Yeah.
You got the Rookie of the Year.
Got
the
a big
MVP.
Big argument. Christopher is a big Quinn Ewers supporter. Listen, I'm not saying Quinn Ewers stinks. I'm not a Quinn Ewers hater. If anything, I defended that guy when people were coming after him with pitchforks. I was like, you guys, Texas fan is running this dude out of town, and he just took him to the playoffs back-to-back years. But I think Quinn Ewers in the NFL projects as Colt McCoy. And, like,
I think he's better than that.
Okay.
He's got, I do, and I don't want to say it, but I think that he's got every tool to be a good to average quarterback.
He's got zero mobility,
which
it's hard to be. Zero mobility.
No, he's got enough. He's got more than some in the league right now.
More than who? More than Aaron Rodgers after he blew out his Achilles, maybe.
No, I'm talking about. He has more than your. He's not a statue.
Dude, he's a statue.
No.
He is a statue.
He's if you're going to say that, then he has no prayer because his size, he's got to move. He's going to have to find the angles.
He better find it.
I think he's more mobile than you do.
I think that Quinn Ewers is going to be able to he'll be able to put together a 8 to 10 year NFL career, motly as a backup quarterback. And you know what? That's pretty damn good. Like, there's a lot of dudes who would aspire to that. I think that'd be Quinn Ewers. That's just me, though. All right, let's hit a break. We'll come back, wrap up the third hour of the show. I got to give away those tickets, too. Let's do that now. Nate Jackson Super Funny World Tour, June 20th at the Aztec Theater. Let's do caller number 5. You're going to win tickets to go see Nate Jackson. And if you don't win, if you're calling number 4 or 6, sucks to be you, but you can get those tickets still at livenation.com. We'll be right back. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from Newstalk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We are working a few trouble spots. 151 Frontage Road westbound Hunt Lane. That's stall in the right lane. On Loop 410 Frontage Road westbound Callahan, that disabled vehicle is blocking the right turn only lane. 35 southbound Rittiman, that stall blocking the median. And 410 northbound Ingram, disabled vehicle right shoulder blocked. Still have this ongoing road work downtown. 35 southbound Main to Cesar Chavez. It's causing a 10-minute delay. Roadway reduced to 1 lane. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Guys, if you ever spend time on social media, you'll often find yourself just being hit with bad news and worse comments, and you'll see how everybody's life is so picture perfect, and they've got this great job promotion, and you're wondering, man, where am I? It's hard not to get wrapped up in how everyone else is doing. Imagine how you'd feel if you just spent 45 minutes focused on how you're doing. That's what they're about at Cerebral. They make it easier than ever to access dedicated therapists and doctor-prescribed medication personalized to you. And the best part, Cerebral offers in-network care so you can focus on feeling better without worrying about the cost. If you're dealing with stress, anxiety, you want to be more present and focused, you want to sleep better, you want to have better relationships, you've got to work on yourself. Cerebral is proud to be an official sponsor of the San Antonio Spurs. Just like athletes prioritize their physical health, mental health is just as important, and Cerebral's here to help you build a strong foundation for your overall being. So take the first step today. Visit Cerebral.com to see how affordable and accessible mental health care can be with insurance. Cerebral, make time for mind time.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Jackson Hewitt wants you to save money on tax prep. We're saving money by having our intern rap in this commercial.
Don't stress, Jackson Hewitt's got expert tax prep, $149 or less. Yo, some tax guys lie about price. What? They got hidden fees, that ain't nice. Ain't nice. Don't ignore MC Kevin's rhyme, cause this deal's for a limited time. $149.
For tax prep that's $149 or less, hurry into Jackson Hewitt today.
No cap.
Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text ORDER to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text ORDER to 42424. That's ORDER to 42424.
Ready for the ultimate sports fan getaway? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is headed to Vegas, and we're bringing you along. Why? Because watching the games from your couch in sweatpants just isn't the same. Join Jason and Joe from the Blitz for a mega March weekend you'll never forget or possibly remember. We're talking Vegas here. March 27th through the 30th, we're hitting up Circa Las Vegas for opening day. And the second weekend of the tournament, a.k.a. Sports Heaven, baby. Thursday, March 27th, the party starts with baseball's opening day at the world's largest sports book. That's right, big screens, big games, and big opinions from Jason and Joe. It's basically like watching sports at home, but with no chores and way more pools. Speaking of pools, dive into 6 of them at Stadium Swim and catch all the action on a 143-foot screen. Lock in now. Go to CircaLasVegas.com. Use promo code BLITZ and party with Jason and Joe at Circa Resort and Casino. Sports, pools, Vegas. What could possibly go wrong? It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Losing?
Oh, I guess he's not a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Hey, before we start the segment, we're down a listener today.
Who?
We lost a good friend yesterday. Those who know him, Big John's gone. And I know you're hurting out there, so am I. We're going to miss him. Big John and fam, for those who loved him, we'll miss him. Just letting everybody know.
Yeah, I didn't know Big John, but that is,
Good
you were
dude.
Telling me about that. That's a bummer,
Good
man.
dude. Sad news. And he's been around the station for a long time. If you've ever come out to an event, he was there, and he won't be in again.
That's a bummer, man.
Tough news.
That is. So sorry for all you guys
Thoughts and
out there,
prayers
who,
out there
who are hurting. Thoughts and prayers. T's and P's, as they call
T's
them.
and P's.
But
good man.
Yeah. I don't think I met him. Although I think you know what? I might have met him once. I might have met him when I was when I started and I was having to. I say having to when I was going and spending an hour on the blitz every day.
You met him out at Retama.
Okay. Yeah. I did meet him there.
Good dude.
Yep. All right. we had where are we at now? I don't know if we've got enough time to get into a whole new conversation here, but we got the show must go on. I did want to talk some of the college hoops from last night. Boy, we couldn't have been more spot on about Michigan. What did I tell you?
They
Michigan
just win.
Michigan wins every game. They either get their ass kicked or they win every game by 2 or 3 points. They hit a buzzer beater last night, very similar to the Michigan State buzzer beater. And
with every game, that Wolf kid impresses me.
He's a good player,
he's
man.
probably not good for the Spurs. He's probably not the kind of player they need. But, man, oh, man, somebody is going to benefit greatly by drafting this guy. Probably around 10, 11, 12 is where he belongs. But he brings a skill set.
When's the last time a competitive, and I don't know how good Michigan really – I mean, Michigan's tied for first in the Big Ten, so I guess they're pretty good. They're 14-3 in the Big Ten. I don't know. I just don't think of them as like
they're not very
a title contender.
No.
But when is the last time a team was even close to that discussion and their 2 best players were 7-footers?
I know. It's just those guys don't normally congregate together. There's just not enough room on the court.
Yeah.
But because Wolf is an extended player, I mean, he's got a 15 to 20-foot game. They function pretty well, and that's the reason they could be a dark horse Final Four team, even though I don't think they've got enough wisdom, I guess is the best way to put it. But their 5 starters, they believe they can beat anybody, and that's enough to get a long way down.
I think their biggest issue is after Trey Donaldson, who I do like, they don't really have the guard. The rest of their guard play is kind of questionable.
They are an excellent team, and they are they are probably better than their talent. But
and they're old. But yeah, they got some good things going for them. Dusty May's a good coach.
But I do think the Big Ten disguises some of the problems. I think the Big Ten hides some of the problems that all of them have until they get out of conference. Then we see, oh, man, they are slow, or whatever that issue is.
And they also kind of have some of the issues that A&M has. They're really strong on defense. They offensive rebound, but man, they are not a very good shooting team.
I cannot recall, not once, not ever, going, that national championship team was so good, but they couldn't shoot. You don't become a champion if you can't shoot.
It's very difficult. In the modern world, it is very difficult to be that. But yeah, it was a good win last night for them. I still think the one team I could see being the exception to that rule. And you know what? What's funny is Houston can shoot.
Oh, they can. They've got 2 dudes. And shooting is probably not the best term. You need shooters, but you need scores.
You need a way to create offense.
You need 2 dudes.
And that's what A&M lacks.
And A&M has 1. You need 2 guys that can be on either side of the court that when all things fall apart can just go get a bucket. Preferably they're hitting 3s instead of 2s in this modern game. And Houston has that. They have 2 guys. The senior guy didn't show up sometimes, but the other day, what's his name? Milos?
Yeah.
Guy doesn't look like Milos, but Milos shows up. So they have the opportunity, at least those guys, to have somebody get the ball and just go get a bucket with it 4 seconds, 8 seconds left on the shot clock.
There is now a prop available. Duke/Auburn
field
or the field.
I'd take, man, right now until
I know you like Florida.
I do, but what we saw Duke do last week when they rolled into Madison Square Garden and took on maybe not the best the Big Ten had to offer, but certainly a good Big Ten team in Illinois, and just pantsed them. I mean, it wasn't even a game. And then to continue that in conference, they're just better than everybody else right now. They're top 5 dudes. 4 of them are going to get drafted in the first round, it feels like. They've got more talent coming off and a belief. I don't think they're as deep as Florida, but right now they're certainly the best team. And let's not even talk about the offense that Auburn brings. They're just an avalanche of buckets.
Auburn 14-1 in the SEC in a year where people are saying the SEC is the best conference. Like the SEC this year is the best conference in the history of college basketball.
No question. They're going to send 10 teams, it looks like.
And they're 14-1 in that league.
They just never stop coming at you.
Well, and Auburn does everything at a high level. Like even the things that they're like would be considered their weaknesses, they're pretty good at. You know, they're not a great 3-point shooting team, but they're top 50 in the country. And it's like,
And they don't need it to
if
win.
that's the worst thing about them, it's like, okay.
The way they lose, if they lose, when they lose, will be because they don't have a lot in the paint. They don't have a defensive presence in the paint. And when I look at Florida and I look at Duke, the other two teams in that three, they've got that one thing that Auburn doesn't. That doesn't mean they can't win. You don't necessarily have to have it, but when you got the Maluch kid at Duke and that 7'4" dude in Florida, that provides one extra thing that Auburn doesn't have.
But you know what? Broom is as good of a rim protector for his size. He's not a 7-footer, but for his size, he's always near the top of like the block shots and the dude is a.
Yeah.
He doesn't let you get anything easy there.
But it's not so much just the block shots. It's the need for him to have to defend that big center, and you pull him out, and suddenly there's other things going on. It's the way they use their big. That when they lose, if they lose, I do believe it'll be because of that. Doesn't mean they will, but if it does happen, it'll be because paint presence is going to be a problem.
Well, you know what? They block 17.3% of shot attempts.
I'm not talking about shot blocking, but yeah, I agree. Defensively, they get a lot of those shots and block shots in transition because there's not a lot of set defenses against them. But I'm just talking about the paint presence when we got to get a rebound, when we have to stop a half-court play, can we do it? And this is such a nominal small problem. But if that's the problem, that's the reason I'd put them probably third best in the country as far as odds to win it all.
The only thing that worries me about Auburn, and if I filled out a bracket today, Auburn would be my national champion. The only thing that worries me, and I like the kid, that Todd Pettiford is a freshman, and he's your playmaker, he's your engine. He's not your best player, but Johni Broom's the best player.
When Broom was hurt, he got better.
But putting all your eggs in a basket on a team that has a freshman running the show when everybody else is old is a little bit scary in today's college basketball, because that's why I don't really trust Duke, because those are all a bunch of young ass kids, as talented as they are.
Walter Clayton at Florida, he's a senior.
All right, well, last hour of the show coming up. Morning Huddle 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code radio for an extra 5% off.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Big John and Jackson, 68 GTO.
It's a 69. It's called the half-breed. Remember when they changed them over from the GTOs to the Le Mans?
Well, this is a GG car then, because if you've seen a picture of her, she looks like she's a half-breed.
She's one of a kind, and I love her.
Love you too.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
What if your limited inventory had unlimited potential? What if your biggest risk was not taking one? What if you could make every move matter? Bank of America's Business Solutions can help bring your biggest what-ifs within reach. Find out how our digital tools, cutting-edge insights, and trusted expertise can work for your business. What would you like the power to do? Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank sponsor of FIFA World Cup 2026.
Hunger striking, snack time calling, it's crunch time. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds brings you the boldest protein-packed crunch you can't resist, with mouth-watering flavors like hot honey, sweet barbecue, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Why settle for chips when you can level up your snacking game? Plus, they're low-carb, high-protein, and made for adventurous appetites. Score big flavor today. Grab Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it! Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson from my good friends over at Prize Picks. Hoops are here, baby. It's time to turn the page and start playing games we can win. And now you can win up to 1,000 times your money over on Prize Picks just for doing what you love, watching basketball and picking those that you like. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money on sports action. There's over 10 million of us doing it. You should be there too. And right now, there's no better time to get in on the hoops action. If you think Steph Curry can get more than 5 3-pointers this week, now's the time. Is the freak going to get 35? I don't know. I do know this. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5, and you don't even need to win. You can receive a $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. And have you ever played Taco Tuesday? That's right. Each Tuesday, Prize Picks offers promotions that can lead to big payouts. Here's how you play. Go download the app today and use the code ALAMO to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. I'll say it again. Download the app, use the code ALAMO, and get $50 instantly after you play your first lineup. Prize Picks. Go run your game.
Progressive presents a testimonial of sorts.
Hey, slow down!
Oh, yeah? Well, you drive like my grandma. She's a very attentive and courteous driver who wears a seatbelt and always uses her turn signals. She's also a talented painter and has very low cholesterol. Not that that has anything to do with her drive. We just thought a more complete picture of who she is might be interesting. Anyway, have a nice day.
Safe driver? Get Snapshot from Progressive and get a personalized rate based on how you drive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things. People. Love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Working a few stalls. 35 southbound Eisenhower off to the right shoulder. Another at I-10 westbound Ackerman. And this stall, 37 southbound Commerce, has the left shoulder blocked. Downtown, that's road work. 35 lower level southbound Main to just past Cesar Chavez, causing about an 8-10 minute travel time. Roadway reduced to 1 lane. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
I've decided not to return to the sidelines this season. That's a quote from Gregg Popovich's statement he released yesterday, saying he will not return. The Cowboys appear to be close to signing defensive tackle Osa Odigizua. Numbers reportedly coming in just above $21 million per year. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This SportsCenter update brought to you by Twin Peaks.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the final countdown. The last hour of the program here, Morning Huddle. Hello, friends. I didn't even introduce Rob Thompson today. Good morning, Rob.
I need no introduction.
You're right.
Kind of a big deal.
You know, you do something that I hate.
Oh, good. My wife says that every day.
I can imagine. I went into our office a little bit ago.
Oh, no.
And you've got, you buy 5 Hour Energy in bulk.
by the case.
No, there's a pallet in there.
Yeah. You open multiples at once. Why?
Well, so this one, I opened the multiples because I knew this weekend I was going to be busy. And while I was in my office, I thought, I'm going to grab a couple of the 5 hours and throw them in my backpack. So I just grabbed a couple at a break a little while ago, and I threw them in, and I thought, I need to move the 2 that are in the case that I opened because there weren't enough to grab 3. There's only 2 in one case and an unopened one. So I grabbed 3 out of the full one to put in my backpack, knowing full well I'd probably need to go back and move the 2 to 1 and throw the box away. I actually had thought about that because I went, that's a lot of trash on my desk.
Yeah, like,
no,
come
I knew
on,
it.
man.
I knew it. So it was in a break, and I had gone in there for something, and I saw the 5 hours, and I thought, I should grab a couple of them now while I'm thinking about it, throw in my backpack to take home because of the shows and stuff we're doing this weekend. And then as I was ripping them out, I thought, maybe I should move those over and throw that away.
Because I went in there and I was like, I thought you left an empty box on the desk, and I was going to throw it away. And then I picked it up, and I was like, no, that one's – and then the other one had it, and I was like, well, I just put them down. I said, I'm not dealing with this. This is nonsensical.
No, in fact, I'm with you. See, I grabbed a couple of them. So even my non-OCD self even noticed that. Like, that looks a little trashy. So I agree with you there.
I'm bad about, like, that stuff. It just drives me crazy. Like, I don't let – my kids are like, they don't understand it, but I don't like when they open – like, if you've opened a box of cereal, finish that box of cereal before you open another box of cereal.
Yeah.
But my kids are like, well, I don't want that cereal
Every
2 days
day.
in a row.
Yeah,
and I'm like, well, then you shouldn't have got that cereal.
And for you, though, here's the thing. And I used to fight that fight because I was always, the cereal's going to go bad. I don't want to eat, like, the fourth day open cereal when it's been dry because you won't close the box.
Right.
But those kids eat the cereal so fast, it wasn't around to go bad anyway. I was always just mad because once that other box was open, it's kind of like when you break 100. It's gone, Yeah. And once the cereal box is open, we got about 24 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man.
Do you have any cereal in your house?
I have
I have
cereal
anymore.
Yeah, I every once in a while I'll be like, oh, because I don't. For a fat person, I don't eat very much. Like
you are a lion. I've said that more. You eat once a day. It's like a snake. You can see.
No, but you eat a lot. That one. You eat like 3 plates at the buffet.
He eats, actually, I'll be honest with you. I don't think he eats that much more than anybody else I'm eating with. But the fact that it's only once a day, I can't even comprehend.
Yeah, I mean, I live a sedentary life right now. I'll occasionally get out and jog a little, but I'm not like working out every day or anything like that. So it's like I've got really no need to eat a bunch of food.
But you eat like a giant meal at like
one. Either noon or dinner. I either eat lunch or dinner. I almost never eat breakfast. Although yesterday I had a kolache, but
I can't function like that.
You need to constantly be great. You're a grazer.
I am. I eat a lot of small meals.
I eat 5 small meals a day.
And that's
well, you have a different issue. You're trying to stay alive.
I'll tell you. Essentially, the diet that diabetics get on is essentially a weight loss diet.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same thing. Low carb, high protein, frequent meals, keep your metabolism moving.
Yep.
Some intermittent fasting, 12 hours,
at
least 12 hours,
Don't
ideally 16 between your last meal of the day and your first of the next. I mean, these are the Dr. Torres rules that work. I mean, but that's also the diabetes.
I do about a 23-hour intermittent fast.
Well, see, that I mean, there's something to the intermittent fasting.
You know what? That's not true. And this is why, I can't consider it fasting because I drink. You
have all the carbs in there.
I eat my one meal, and then at night I'll have 2 or 3 beers, or I'll have some whiskey, and it's like, so I'm getting some calories,
and you're getting the worst kind of calories because they're unfiltered calories.
All right, Mom.
Those are
I'm
the
just
Luka
saying
calories.
that's Dr. Torres.
Calories. Yeah.
When you go, well, I didn't even eat last night. He goes, well, what did you drink?
Well, you listen, Dr. Dr. Torres, I'll tell you this. You show me the broccoli that'll get me drunk, I'll start eating that broccoli.
It's called weed.
Give me some broccoli that gets me buzz, I'm in.
It's kind of like broccoli, but different.
Count me in, Bubba. All right, let's start off the last hour by giving away these college slam dunk and three-point shootout tickets. It's April 3rd at the Frost Bank Center. Let's go caller number 4. You're going to win tickets to that college slam dunk and three-point championship. April 3rd at Frost Bank. Look at that. I got all my giveaways out of the way, Vic.
At
Vic is so proud.
Mark the calendar. We did it.
Vic is so proud of me.
No kidding.
I do also, while I'm doing my business.
Oh, look at this professional radio stuff.
Bubba.
Let's plug some stuff here.
If you look over my shoulder here, look at this. If you're on the brigade bar.
Look at this.
Ta-da!
It only took a year.
Yeah.
Now, they did not put the date of the golf classic on there. Just says register today. But I'm going to tell you here, the golf tournament, the spring golf tournament is April 14th at the Golf Club of Texas. Presented by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer, benefiting the Pan American Golf Association. You can register online at sasportstar.com. It's $120 a head, or sign up your whole foursome for $400 and save. That's Monday, April 14th, 9 a.m. at the Golf Club of Texas.
So here's the deal. Right. Foursome for $400, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go hit up your suit right now. Go find your boss. Monday coming up. Go ahead and get it out of the way because I don't want you bitching. The last week we get all the calls. Any more room? Any more room? I finally talked my boss into buying it, and there won't be. So do it now. I say it every year. We say it over and over. We fill up and will fill up in the next 3 weeks.
I think
There's only so much. Oh, no,
yeah.
I think so. I guarantee you. We will fill up a week prior, and there'll be no more room.
Yep. April 14th, 9 a.m. That's presented by Flat by Yingling, the next generation of light beer, sponsored in part by Ancira and PPL Motorhomes. And don't forget, afterwards, there's going to be a live broadcast of the Blitz at the Hangar Bar, which means they're going to ask us to stay around and do awards.
Yeah,
right?
we'll close out at the tournament. The boys will host as they leave. And
that's a bad idea because we get off work at 10, and then by the time that tournament's over, Rob and I last time were schnockered.
Yes, that was
because we ride our cart around and we just do shots with people, and it's leaving us in charge of things is probably not a good call, but the Blitz guys are going to be gone, so what are they going to do?
And I've decided, last year, while there was plenty of alcohol in every hole, I'm bringing my own this year.
Oh,
I want people to
go with a flask?
We're going to bring our own bottle of iced tea.
Okay.
And we'll have challenges along the way.
Okay.
People will earn shots from us.
I like that. Did you see – let me just ask you. If there was a tournament of one-on-one in the NBA, like the best guys who you think would be the best at one-on-one.
Wow, that's such a good question.
Who are you taking?
Man, one-on-one right now, I will always fall. I'd take Kyrie Irving.
Okay. Kevin Durant was asked about this.
And Kevin might have been my second choice.
Kevin Durant, he's always taught. Most people would say he would be the first one they say, and it's because he's got such a great range of his game. He's got all the offensive weapons. But they asked him about if he would do a one-on-one tournament with $1 million prize as part of the All-Star festivities.
There used to be one about 50 years ago. There was a one-on-one tournament.
They don't want to do it now because guys are scared to get embarrassed.
Yes, I
really believe that.
Again.
Like if you asked me, like if you said, "Hey, Vic, Rob, AJ, and Edwin, you guys play a one-on-one tournament and the winner gets $1 million," like I realize there's a good possibility I'll get embarrassed. I might blow out my ACL. Vic's kidney might fall out, but I guarantee we're all going to play it because it's $1 million. So if my ACL blows out, I at least took my swing at the $1 million.
Yeah.
These guys, $1 million is such a small prize to them that it's like it's not worth me losing.
Getting hurt
11-3. If I lose 11-3, now I look like a bum.
Yeah,
it's not worth it.
And you could lose a $10 million endorsement contract.
Yeah, but KD says he would consider doing it. And he was on the Draymond Green show is where he was talking about this. And they asked him who he thought would be the best guys at it. And he said, well, he has personal experience with two guys. And one of them is Kyrie Irving. He also said Jason Tatum.
Oh, yeah.
He said, you can get hot on ones, man. You can say I'd win this, but I can also lose too because I done played ones with Jason Tatum. He got cooking, making shots over every contest. I played ones with Kyrie, and he can't miss. You know what I'm saying? I would say JT and Kyrie for the simple fact that I actually played against them. But somebody like a Joel Embiid, I think the fact that he can actually get a bucket from the wing, I'm talking about straight-up healthy Joel Embiid, he said. I think Shea would be tough in the ones, especially if you got like a 5-second clock and not like 3 or 4 dribbles. If you go in with just a shot clock, he's going to be tough. Anthony Edwards, I think I'd put him in there too. Giannis, I got to see how he's going to approach it.
I'd pay money for this.
Because the ones, you got to be able to just shoot anytime like fadeaways, and he's going to try to straight bully you. But it does make for an,
I'd kick in. I think we could come up with a purse of about $20 million. I think if it's not a first and second take home some cash, I'd pay for this.
Have 8 dudes. Even if it's like a $2 million prize.
If they would do it, I would pay for it. I'd go pay-per-view on this. I would legit like to see like a matchup between Kyrie and Kevin Durant. I think it would, especially, Durant's gone even further with this. He's talking about 3 dribbles or a shot clock. I hadn't even considered the ramifications of those things. I love this idea because, yes, Embiid actually has enough handles and can shoot well enough where he might be able to do it. I know Kyrie can get to the rim anytime he wants.
That might be Embiid's. That might be his thing now.
I mean,
he just needs to quit playing basketball and just go do a one-on-one tournament every year.
And you can't not have Wemby involved. He's the next and the guy with handles, too. I mean, I would legitimately pay to see this. Maybe it only happens every 4 years, but every 4 years, let's gather together and see who the best legitimately one-on-one player is in the world.
It's certainly, while we're talking about what hockey did and how they totally changed their all-star approach, and I don't think it could have been more of a success for hockey.
No, it's been, yeah.
Like, that is the idea that hockey would now go back to a regular all-star format is almost nonsensical. Like, I can't imagine that they do.
No, they won't. They've already said they're going to maintain this.
If the NBA, and really Major League Baseball better start looking at it. I think the NFL has basically given up on the Pro Bowl. Like, it's a joke now.
And there's nothing they can do.
No, there really isn't. Like, you can't have a practice football game.
No, there's nothing they can do.
Flag doesn't work. Like, you and I were sitting at the airport watching the flag football Pro Bowl, going like, who would be interested in this?
No one. So at least they've accepted the fact, and they come around. We'll play tug of war. I mean, okay. Well,
the NBA and Major League Baseball need to figure out a way to make this thing appealing. And hell, one-on-one, there's an idea.
Well,
there's something.
I remember the radical change, and this was right when Stern was leaving and Silver was taking over, that the NBA was really the first, when you were talking about marketing games, where they talked about the player before the team.
Yeah.
The NBA was the first to do that, where they're like, this isn't Magic, this isn't the Lakers Celtics, this is Magic versus Bird. And it went on from that. So it wouldn't be crazy for a league that is predicated on teams to suddenly go, you know what, our all-star game is now going to go down to the very most basic thing, one-on-one guys, the stars versus the stars. It wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me at all, because they're the first to do these kind of things.
Or even 2-on-2 would be cool.
Yeah.
Like, just make it look like a half-court 2-on-2 game.
I don't know if I want to see that. The debate would be, who is the best player in the world? Can Luka take on Joker?
That is interesting.
My gosh.
But I do love the idea of like an NBA Jam type thing where you and your teammate give me, like, who's your NBA Jam team?
That would be a good all-star dalliance. It would be a nice dalliance, but I've seen enough of the big three to go, and for those of you who don't know, for about 10 years, I put on 3-on-3 basketball tournaments. Mm-hmm. 3-on-3 is fun to play. It ain't that fun to watch. No. It just really isn't. I mean, it's fun to go out there and do it. And, the FIBA has tried to form their own 3-on-3 league. It's just not as entertaining as I think a one-on-one matchup to 10 from that. But I will say the 2-on-2, I love the idea, the way they're doing it in the All-Star game with the young and the old, and we're dribbling and we're showing off some skills.
Yeah.
I do love that idea because it fosters the team. But the idea of winner take all, let's name the pot. Man.
But, like, how cool would it have been to see Chris Paul and Wemby against?
No, that would be brilliant. But do you really? I mean,
you get 4 of those teams.
Do we settle anything other than you got 2 good guys?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just romanticizing NBA Jam. Maybe that's what it is.
Well, you are, and you should. But I think the quintessential question, which used to be, and we don't talk about it anymore, when it was Magic and Larry, it wasn't so much the teams. It's like, if those teams played each other, who would win?
I think there's going to be guys who would be worried about being embarrassed.
Oh, I get it. Most would say no.
All right, let's take a look at the things going on outside the world of sports on the other side. It is the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Working a few stalls. 35 southbound Eisenhower off to the right shoulder. Another at I-10 westbound Ackerman. And this stall, 37 southbound Commerce, has the left shoulder blocked. Downtown, that's road work. 35 lower levels southbound Main to just past Cesar Chavez, causing about an 8-10 minute travel time. Roadway reduced to 1 lane. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever.
Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off. Free UPS shipping and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Calling all flag football fans. HEB and the Dallas Cowboys are hosting the first annual Dallas Cowboys Flag Football Classic presented by HEB. On March 16th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., head to the Star Soccer Complex in San Antonio to watch local youth flag football teams take the field, hang with Rowdy at the Dallas Cowboys Hall of Fame trailer, and more. For more details, visit DallasCowboys.com/HEB flag today.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603.
If you missed the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you missed this.
Yeah, I worked hard this morning, Minix. We have a doggy door. Well, the flaps were like malfunctioning.
Bad to have malfunctioning flaps.
Yes, the dogs would go outside and the flap would stay up. Maggie ordered some, and I installed those bad boys today. And I must say, pretty damn good. 4 screws on each side.
Four screws for malfunctioning flaps.
It was harder than you think.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Morning Huddle 94.1. Da-da-da-da. Hey, good news for John Gruden. Once disgraced John Gruden.
You can come on.
Hey, man.
It's all good.
Forget about all that racist and sexist stuff. You're back in the game,
so
baby.
Do they have so he was in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Hall of Fame.
The Ring of Honor.
The Ring of Honor. And once the letter came out and the words and all the stuff.
The emails.
What, did they just take all the stuff and put it in a closet? Now they're going to just bring it back out?
They said, John Gruden, you've disparaged our organization with your racist, homophobic, misogynist nonsense. You are out of the Ring of Honor, eliminated. We don't care you won a Super Bowl. And then John Gruden, a little bit, a couple years down the road, they call him up and say, hey, Bubba.
We got a new president. What was bad then we can do.
Yeah.
I mean, times change.
And,
it just goes to show when you make these kind of decisions, these rash decisions, whether it's to pull somebody out or put somebody in a time of turmoil, you're going to look back and go, why did we do this? Yeah. And I think they realize in the grand scheme of time, he should have never left. Yeah, he made a couple of mistakes, but we all know who John Gruden is, and he's not the bad guy that was portrayed in a couple of bad letters. I mean, you just can't be who he has been all his life. No, I'm telling you, you can't be what he was portrayed to be for as long as he has been it and have a couple of letters that were involving another thing to just totally ruin a life.
Okay.
I mean, seriously, everybody who knew John Gruden go, oh, that's awful, but he's not that. I mean, we all know that that's what he was. You can't be that successful in this line of work.
No, I tend to agree.
And be able to hide that for that long. Now, did he say some and do some things that probably shouldn't have been said or done? Yes.
For sure.
But to the extent that you pull him out of the Hall of Fame and say he should never be mentioned or talked of again, he didn't kill anybody.
No, but, boy, it's the N-word's hard to come back from.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. But that was quotes, and he was responding to I get his defense, but no, you can never, ever do that.
That's a tough one to come back from.
But I think he had enough defenders to where the Tampa Bay doesn't feel like they're kind of stepping out on a gangplank where they might get in trouble. I think everybody goes, yeah, that's about right. He should be in.
Yeah. I mean, listen,
we're not all choir boys.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not. I just think it's funny one way or the other that
like 10 years later, okay, you're good.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? We changed our mind about keeping you out for this reason. I know you said those racist and homophobic things,
and to his
but no big deal.
He's been very apologetic. He has owned what he said. He never said it wasn't me. I didn't do it. It was somebody else. I was framed. I was hacked. He never said that.
He lost his whole career over that too, man. Like he was.
So he's paid his price, and I don't think you'll ever hear that again.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll ever say anything like that again. I think he'll be on the other side of that.
Well, he certainly ain't going to put it in an email. Zero chance of that, I would say, putting it in an email.
A franchise and a career.
Yep. So congrats, I guess, to John Gruden. Back in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Ring of Honor.
So very recently disgraced and now honored.
Yes,
John Gruden.
We want to re-honor you. My guess is it's an opportunity for them to sell some tickets. Hey guys, you want to be back for the reinstatement, the reinstatement of John Gruden into the Ring of Honor. You can get your tickets now.
Chucky doing a chalk talk.
Yeah. Let's see what's going on outside the world. Did you read yesterday? We talked about Gene Hackman.
This is getting weird, man.
They were
what happened?
We don't know.
Apparently, he and his wife, when they found them, they were mummified.
They'd been dead for a while, and that poor dog had been left in its kennel.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
Yeah. They found him in the mudroom, like coming in. They found his glasses, like they think he might have fallen. They can't figure out why his wife was down where she was, surrounded with prescription medicine. And this is it's getting weirder, man.
It is an odd thing.
How long had it been since somebody checked on the?
How long does it take to turn into a mummy? I mean, that's
wild.
That's wild.
Have they checked for spiders?
Rigor mortis, right?
You ever see that spider movie where the spiders were turning everybody into zombies?
Yeah,
mummies?
I don't like spiders, but I'm not necessarily. I don't know. I don't worry about becoming a mummy.
You're from New Mexico. Are there vampires there?
I've never seen a vampire. First of all, I'm not from New Mexico.
Well, you lived.
I lived in New Mexico. That's like saying you're from Florida.
Oh yeah, no.
You want to play? You want to play that game, Bubba?
Pit stop.
Slow down.
No, there's more pride in New Mexico than Florida. I own New Mexico.
Be careful, friend. I don't know how much time you spend
country.
there.
That's spread out for miles, baby.
Oh.
But it is odd that a guy of Gene Hackman's stature went a month without anybody. I don't know what it was when they're saying a significant amount of time.
Yeah. I mean, all right. Yeah. I mean, dude, I don't think you. I mean, once you become a mummy, you're talking about you're past the point of where you get the death stink. It's like now you're
dried out.
Like all of that stuff's all rotted and gone away. Like
he was 93. There wasn't. I mean, he was up there.
That's true. He may have been a mummy on the inside. He may have already
been well on his way. But
yeah, you're right. That's a good point. Let's see where do I want to go next? That sounds like a sad story. Here's one.
Apart from being found mummified,
yeah,
no one knew you were dead
I didn't plan on talking about that, but I did just decide. Like I randomly decided to throw that out there. There's a biker gang in LA right now. But they're going around. They're attacking motorists. There's some incidents that have been caught on video. There's 20 to 30 of them. They're going around attacking drivers. Now, the weird thing is when I say they're a biker gang, they're a bicycle gang.
All right.
These are teenagers on bicycles. Apparently, they're all between around the age of 16 to 18 years old. Mm-hmm. At least that's the guess of the police. They apparently attacked a man in Beverly Hills in broad daylight. The attack unfolded at the intersection of San Vicente Boulevard and Carrillo Drive, east of Beverly Hills. A fight broke out. The driver, outnumbered by the group, fell to the ground where he was punched and kicked. Video of the attack showed. The group eventually rode away south on Carrillo Drive after witnesses approached them to try to stop the fight. Man was reportedly treated for his injuries at a local hospital, or declined to go to a local hospital. The argument erupted between the driver and the teens. Apparently, the teens had hit and kicked his car, so he got out of the car and got his ass whooped. Now, and it says the guy who got his ass whooped was ex-military, so this is like, it's not some punk, but when there's 20 kids, like,
I filed this story under the things that would not happen in Texas.
No,
there would be several dead teens.
Yeah, if you kick my car,
we can carry.
Yes,
and we don't even have to let you know that we're carrying here.
Right. You find out as soon as you hear that pop.
There'd be some tough news delivered by some county sheriffs if there's a bunch of kids on bikes in Texas. So things that wouldn't happen here.
Is your wife, Vic? Your wife works at a dollar type store. Has that ever been robbed?
Oh yeah.
Really? Yeah. I wouldn't think that
she was involved in
kind of a daily thing.
Yeah, she was held at gunpoint at twice.
It just seems like that's not the kind of place that's going to have a bunch of money. Like, when everything's $1, it's like, how much money are you going to get on the register?
Both times they wanted nothing but cigarettes. They wanted to.
They're after the sale thing
and tobacco.
Yeah. In Louisville, Kentucky, police are investigating an armed robbery at the Dollar Tree. A man used a threat of deadly force, pushed the cashier against the wall at gunpoint, stole $273 and some items.
Eggs?
It doesn't say what items. I want to know, though. I wish I knew.
Toilet paper?
But toilet paper?
I guess I've never even, I can't. Yeah. Like gas stations, I get it. Obviously banks, I understand that, although that's a high-risk operation. Yeah. But I've never thought, a dollar store, there's a target for...
Yeah, most armed robbers you'd think would have more thought process behind who they're robbing.
I mean,
they'd really think about
I'd plan it out.
The act.
They probably did, because they got to figure out when they took the deposit.
A liquor store. A liquor store makes sense to rob. A dollar store? I mean, I guess it's in the name. You got dollars here, don't you? Hand them over.
They do business.
I guess so.
Just because everything's just $1 doesn't mean they're not selling a lot
of
those.
No, I guess you're right. It's just surprising to me that is a...
I'd go rob the $100 store, not the dollar store.
That was a choice of, let's get this place.
Or the $5 below. At least everything there's $5.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you remember the other day you told me the Pope died?
No, he hadn't died.
No, he hadn't died yet.
Okay, did you think he had died?
Oh,
there's
very
the fake
sick.
tweets that are going out every day, but he seems
it's like apparently
sick,
people are arguing over if he's dead or not. I
haven't seen any smoke.
No smoke yet.
Well, Donald Trump Jr. said that we'll find out on Monday. He's already dead, but they don't want to talk about it yet. They're going to announce it on Monday.
Okay.
If they do, I'm going to be like, oh, damn it.
Here we go.
I hope they do. Evelina Fabianski.
That's a good name.
Is 18 years old. She lives in Volusia County, Florida.
Of course.
She was arrested on Wednesday for vandalizing a vehicle. And you might think, well, why would she do that? She spray painted it. She wrote all these terrible things on it. And when they found her, she had yellow spray paint on her sweatpants. Like she was kind of caught in the act.
Yellow-handed.
And they said, hey, why'd you do this? Well, she said, I am upset. I'm heartbroken. Evelina, what a weird name. Evelina was heartbroken and upset with her ex-boyfriend. And she said, you know what? I'm going to make him pay. So she threw eggs, which, by the way, you egg a car now, that's like a $20 investment. That's high dollar vandalism right there. That's like spray painting with gold fleck. And then she used spray paint unfortunately, it was dark, and she found out once she was under arrest that you actually spray painted and egged the neighbor's car. And this wasn't like a little bit of spray paint. This was like all.
Oops.
Oh, my bad. My bad. She also says her ex-boyfriend owes her around $700, which,
I think a girl that's that level-headed would have already been paid back.
You would think so. She seems like a reasonable gal. But they also, when they found her in these sweatpants that were covered in spray paint, they found her driving with 2 open containers of Four Loko in plain view. So if you're an 18-year-old girl drinking Four Loko, no wonder you're making bad life choices.
Right?
It's 18. Listen, when you're 18 and you're like, oh, I'm gonna try drinking or whatever. Don't start with Four Loko. Trust me. If you're in college,
What would you start with? What would be the recommended beginning drink?
PBR, right?
What?
Yeah,
I don't think it's that far away from Four Loko.
Or like Boone's Farm. I don't know.
In Four Loko, kind of the Boone's Farm of the malted liquor world.
Anything. The reason why it's called malt liquor is because it's got a higher ABV than regular beer. You can't call it beer because it gets you too wasted. Four Loko is not for beginners.
No,
it's for hobos. It's like it's for guys who rob dollar stores.
So
all
if
right,
you're starting out drinking MD, you're starting at a mid-level as well.
Yeah, don't Four Loko.
I've never had Four Loko. That wasn't a thing when I was young.
I've had OG Four Loko, the Four Loko that had caffeine in it. So it was malt liquor that would get you hyped up.
I thought it had it anyway.
That became illegal. Yeah, you're not allowed to do that anymore. They had to get rid of it and just make it like regular, disgusting tasting Four Loko that comes in like a 28-ounce can.
Well, I kind of picture like the laughing clown logo on Ricky Bobby's car when you say Four Loko. I kind of picture a clown.
We so when we were during COVID, we were we didn't have any sports to talk about on my show, so we just passed time like any regular sports talk show would by drinking disgusting alcohol on the radio and just having a good time.
And Tiger King.
And we had we would spin a wheel. Every Friday we did happy hour, and we'd spin the wheel every once in a while. If we got enough, like if we had enough people watching on Twitch, we'd say, hey, you get us to 300 people watching on Twitch, our promo girl will come in here in a bikini. And then sure enough, people, hey, let's party. All right, we get 500 people watching on Twitch. We'll spin the wheel, and one of us will have to shotgun a Four Loko. And my producer, Tyler, had to shotgun a Four Loko, a 24-ounce Four Loko. Ooh. I mean, he was violently ill afterwards, but he got the job done. Respect to him. He got the whole job done. Now, Vic would have just died.
No, we're a little bit more upmarket. We signed a deal with Jim Beam. We just mixed drinks with bourbon every Friday.
Oh, yeah. No, we
went upmarket.
We were partying. We were partying, baby. We decided we were going to find out what's the worst liquor in the world. And every Friday,
Mad Dog,
we would bring in a new bottle.
Or Mogan David.
No, the worst liquor in the world is
Fernet. Oh, come on. It's not the worst.
Oh, it's pretty damn close.
Well, that's because you've never had
Thunderbird.
You've never had tobacco-flavored vodka.
Well, I have.
Oh,
it started out as regular
That's a
flavor.
real thing you can buy at the liquor store.
Why?
Tobacco-flavored vodka.
Who
I thought that was Fernet.
You can also buy, if tobacco-flavored's not your thing, you can buy menthol tobacco-flavored vodka, too. That comes in regular and menthol. No. And this is the best part of it. The vodka company is called Ivanovich. Ivanovich vodka. And they have like any flavor you want. Like you want mango, blueberry, cherry.
Okay. I don't like any flavors.
It's all first of all, it's all disgusting vodka to begin with. But the regular Ivanovich vodka costs about, I think it's about $6 for a bottle of this vodka.
That's it?
Yeah. And you're overpaying if you get it. All right. Let me just tell you that. Wow. Now, if you want the flavored kind, it might be like
it's up to $20
Oh no!
I'm reading the Ivanovich menthol tobacco.
That's $20.
$20 a bottle.
Okay, well then this could have just been a fire sale because at the Specs in Houston, they had it was like here's the regular bottle. It costs X.
Okay.
You want the flavored, it costs $5 more. If you want the menthol or the tobacco flavored, it's like $2 less. So imagine the person who came up with this marketing idea. They said, hey, because whoever it was who said, okay, hey, we've got this crappy vodka.
How do we get rid of it?
Let's add something to it and we'll sell it for more. And they're like, hey, that's a good idea, Tim. You're promoted. And then Frank comes in and says, hey, I got an idea too. Let's take the vodka, add something to it, and then be forced to sell it for less. And somehow they were like, yeah, good idea, Frank. Yeah. And that's how they created menthol tobacco flavored vodka. And tobacco flavored vodka is the worst liquor I've ever tasted. It literally tastes like
I'm reading the reviews.
Like an ashtray. Right?
It does. It tastes like you're licking an ashtray.
The reviews don't help it.
It's like they should take those reviews down, probably,
it's an
right?
especially weird over Ivanovic tobacco flavor because of the menthol. The best way to take this is a drink called the Smoky Breeze.
Oh, okay.
Which involves equal parts of Ivanovic menthol tobacco vodka, cranberry, and pineapple.
Oh.
Nothing like a little fruity ashtray. It's kind of like drinking little fruity and some butts, some cigarette butts and some orange juice.
I'm going to get you a bottle for Christmas, Vic.
That'll wake you up in the morning.
I'm going to get you a bottle for Christmas because I know
my kidney will go away.
You're used to drinking Ciroc.
Yeah.
But now that Diddy is like a pervert, I don't want you drinking that anymore. So we're going to get you some non-pervert vodka. It's just going to be tobacco flavored.
Oh, no, give me another one.
Do you have any liquor
Buy me a Grey
that
Goose
tastes like Skull?
Yeah, I bet they do.
Do you have any liquor that will taste like I'm dipping Copenhagen all the time?
I mean, how great would that be if you didn't have to dip Copenhagen and you just said, you know what, I'm only going to...
2 for 1.
It's like double dipping. It's like,
No, it's not double
Literally.
dipping. The sum total does not equal the sum of its parts.
Imagine
you're less than.
You drink a bottle of Copenhagen flavored vodka and you get that Copenhagen
Anybody
flavor.
who's ever
but you're
drank
housed.
any or swallowed anything that involves Copenhagen knows that you're going to throw up within 30 minutes. It's coming back up if it tastes anything like what.
No, I'm not doing
Anybody who's ever dipped for the first time knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I remember the first time I dipped, and I immediately...
Can you imagine?
I've never tried it.
Can you imagine adding to the joy of that feeling with being drunk?
Yeah.
That wobbly, sweaty-faced, queasy, I'm going to explode feeling, and then add just a little buzz. Man, that's a good feeling. No. I would love that. That and
well, you got it, Bubba.
That and
That's
being
all you,
and
man.
being electrocuted.
Yeah,
would
we could do all those
that
things.
and attaching battery cables to my nuts.
And maybe
would be about the same.
Maybe being attacked by a police dog. That would be fun.
Yeah, right
that'd
in
be fun.
there with the feeling
do
of
that.
swallowing half a can of Copenhagen and then taking a shot of bad vodka. Man,
All right,
that'll send you to the moon.
Let's hit our last break of the day. We'll come back. We'll do what we always do to wrap up the show. Take a look at the daily lines. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
South Texas, get ready for the ultimate sports talk experience. The one and only Rich Eisen is on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Every weekday, noon to 2 p.m. With over 20 years of NFL experience, Rich Eisen brings breaking stories, expert analysis, and exclusive interviews with sports legends to your airwaves with unmatched wit, insight, and passion. Catch all the action every weekday, noon to 2 p.m. The Rich Eisen Show, only on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Have you ever done a jingle, Pat Green?
It's my only jingle experience. My first line is, "This is the worst thing I've ever heard." The engineer raised his clipboard up over his head and smashed it onto the soundboard. Buttons scattered like Legos across the room. And then my violin player goes, "He wrote that jingle, man."
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, San Antonio, multiple tours overseas, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training toward our low-cost degree and certificate programs. We call that credit where credit is due. For over 75 years, our dedicated success coaches have been helping service members achieve their goals. Get started with local support and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
The Gomez Law Firm has been San Antonio's trusted law firm for 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us today. Jose, tell us about the cases you all specialize in.
We do ride-sharing cases, we do 18-wheeler cases, work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you or your family have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, you need to visit joegomezlaw.com. Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson from my good friends over at Prize Picks. Hoops are here, baby. It's time to turn the page and start playing games we can win. And now you can win up to 1,000 times your money over on Prize Picks just for doing what you love, watching basketball and picking those that you like. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money on sports action. There's over 10 million of us doing it. You should be there too. And right now, there's no better time to get in on the hoops action. If you think Steph Curry can get more than 5 3-pointers this week, now's the time. Is the freak going to get 35? I don't know. I do know this. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5, and you don't even need to win. You can receive a $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. And have you ever played Taco Tuesday? That's right. Each Tuesday, Prize Picks offers promotions that can lead to big payouts. Here's how you play. Go download the app today and use the code ALAMO to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. I'll say it again. Download the app, use the code ALAMO, and get $50 instantly after you play your first lineup. Prize Picks. Go run your game.
Guys, if you're feeling tired or low on energy, it could be your testosterone. Game Day Men's Health in Alamo Heights offers a simple 3-step process to get you back to feeling your best. Call 210-900-3691. That's Game Day Men's Health, 210-900-3691.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Spring Golf Classic is back. Monday, April 14th at the Golf Club of Texas. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Spring Golf Classic, benefiting the Pan American Golf Association, is presented by Flight by Yingling, sponsored in part by Ensira.com and PPL Motorhomes. The Spring Golf Classic, Monday, April 14th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
This is Jason Minix. You're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Oh, yeah. Made 1,000 songs make you move your ass.
You're not allowed to say that. He didn't.
You can say ass.
He didn't.
Well,
that's a super clean one.
He's scared, man.
Or the Walmart version.
He's scared.
He's scared.
Scared by a dog. Scared, go to church.
I ain't scared.
You know who ain't scared? Matt. Matt's trying to riz up Alexandra in foreign languages. I don't know what he's throwing at her, but yeah, I think he's dirty talking her. I don't even understand. Our brigade bars turned into Tinder now.
Yeah.
That's a terrifying
We're
thought.
all hooking
Swipe
up.
right, baby.
Yeah.
Swipe right.
We don't need these guys getting together.
Oh, we're gonna have.
We don't need this happen.
We're gonna have sasshole babies.
No, we can't have this. Things gonna get weird.
Those sassholes hooking up with the sassy lassies. Oh, they're gonna be the sassiest babies in San Antonio.
I can't have this, man.
Woo! Wheeling and dealing, baby. Let's go. All right, styling and profiling. Yeah. Let's do what we always do to wrap up the show, Vic. Let's take a look at the daily lines.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the daily lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
National Basketball Association. Man, we got a good one to kick off. We've had some dud matchups lately. We have, like, if you were saying, okay, let's put together the best matchups we can, we got two of them that kind of fall into that category tonight. And they're the first two games on the board. I love it. Denver Nuggets at the Detroit Pistons. Pistons playing about as good as you can play. They just beat the defending NBA champs by 20 points.
I'm beating this mule till he's dead.
Think about that. Think about that. Last year, the Celtics won the NBA title. The Pistons were the worst team in the league, and the Pistons just beat them by 20 points. They have really turned it around. I'm with you, man. I'm not fading the Pistons right now.
I'm riding it. They're playing good basketball.
And then what's the best matchup? If I said who's going to play in the Eastern Conference Finals?
It would be Celtics Cavaliers.
Well, guess who's playing tonight?
What?
Cavaliers at the Celtics. Boston minus 2.5, which basically tells you these teams are looked at. The Celtics probably looked at as a slightly better team because usually they'll give 2 points for home court. So they think the Celtics are a little bit better. I still think the Cavs are better. So if I'm getting 2.5 points, I'll take the Cavs. I'd like to get 3, but yeah, I like the Cavs.
Some of this, we were talking about it pre-show as Wemby fades into this season and exits the defensive player of the year conversation. It's these kind of games tonight for Cleveland that Evan Mobley, or maybe even Jared Allen for that matter, but Evan Mobley probably the more likely candidate, can step in and make a point for being defensive player of the year.
Yeah, I think Evan Mobley has a really good chance of being. I mean, he's second in the odds right now, very close to Jaren Jackson. The Oklahoma City Thunder, and the Thunder rolls. Bam, bam, bam. They're expected to roll tonight. They are 12.5-point favorites in Atlanta. You expect them to roll by that much?
No.
Okay.
No. Atlanta, well, no, I don't. And I don't know why. I just think Atlanta is such a variable. They beat teams. They should be losing, and they come out and play harder than they should.
Claymore says AJ sipping that haterade. Claymore, no, I'm looking to bring people together, brother. You got me all mixed up. You think I'm hating? No, I love it. I used to do Love Connection on my show. I was
Oh yeah.
I did game shows trying to hook up listeners. I've done it. I've created marriages on the radio, Bubba. Come on. You talk about? I ain't no hater. I'm trying to make the. Listen, man. If a dude likes my radio show and a lady likes my radio show, they make a baby. That kid's gonna grow up liking my radio show. That's what I'm looking for, man. That's what I'm all about.
We don't need that. We don't need them breeding.
I want them to breed. I want it. The Portland Trailblazers are headed to Brooklyn for a battle of the Titans. I guess if you've got all the good teams playing each other, that it only could mean that
it speeds things along.
The bad teams have to play each other too.
Eventually.
Portland -2 at Brooklyn. Give me Portland. They're playing better. Of all the teams that you would think would want to roll over and die, Portland seems like the most intent on fighting. They're winning games. They're going out and competing every game. And like while everybody else seems to be like having a race to the bottom, the Blazers seem to legitimately think they've got a chance to make the play-in, and they're fighting for it.
Well, they got nothing to lose.
No, but they've got plenty to gain if they tanked like everybody else did.
Yeah, I suppose, but they don't need more young dudes. It'd be nice to have Cooper Flagg. It'd be nice to have Dylan Harper. But after that, I'm not sure they're chasing more young dudes. They got a lot of young talent. They need to spend some money on some more experienced dudes in my mind. But yeah, I do think that they do have an opportunity right now to get in the play-in. Yep. They're playing that well.
Knicks are at the Grizzle. Memphis -4. Give me Memphis. New York is the worst when it comes to playing against other high-level competition. The Knicks are they punch down. You're a bad team, the Knicks are going to beat you. You're a good team, you're going to smack the Knicks around. That's typically what's happened. The Grizzlies, I think, undeniably fall into the good team category. Give me Grizzlies -4 at home.
Yes. The thing about the Grizzlies now is the maintenance of momentum. Just get to the playoffs, stay healthy, and stay good.
Pacers -4.5 in Miami.
What happened last night? How'd the Pacers do last game out?
Pacers, what did they do last night? I don't even know what they did. They didn't play last night.
2 nights. They had a big one 2 nights ago. Phil, didn't they have Cleveland 2 nights ago? I feel like they had a big one, and I'm really curious.
No, the Pacers beat the Raptors.
It was the Raptors. Okay,
they beat the snot out of the Raptors last time they played, but I don't remember if that was Tuesday or Wednesday. But they I mean, listen, if your job is to beat up bad teams, that's exactly what they did. That's what they're being asked to do here. Miami Heat, not very good. Probably Pacers look even on the road. How about this one? Are you willing to lay 2 points with the Chicago Bulls at home against the Toronto Raptors?
Yes, I am.
You like the Bulls better than the Raptors?
For some reason, since that trade, they're actually playing a little bit better.
Okay. Well,
you know what I mean? They're both awful.
All right. The Pelicans beat the Suns last night, embarrassed them.
We're the slump busters, man.
Does it stay going, though? Pelicans plus 7.5 in the rematch tonight at Phoenix.
You know the question I'm going to ask.
Is Zion playing?
Yes.
The answer is no.
Then
that would be considered a back-to-back.
Then no.
Okay. I tend to agree. Although I don't want to lay any number with the Suns.
No, I'm not going to touch either one of those, but everything's about Zion for them.
Timberwolves minus 2.5 at the Jazz. No Anthony Edwards.
On suspension.
I think they still wreck the Jazz.
Yeah, they do.
Even on the road. It feels like a sucker bet, I'll tell you that much, because everybody with $1 in their pocket walking through the casino in Vegas is going to look up at the board and see that line and go, yeah, give me the T-Wolves. And usually those guys lose, but you couldn't convince me to think the Jazz are going to win, even without Anthony Edwards on the floor. And the Battle of L.A., Clippers minus 4.5 at the Lakers tonight.
Like the Lakes.
In the world of collegiate basketball, there's not a lot going on in the top 25 tonight. Purdue is a 5.5-point favorite over UCLA at home. Big Ten, long travel. Probably give me Purdue. But the games this weekend, we've got some good ones. Auburn is at Kentucky tomorrow. Auburn projected around a 5-point favorite on the road. I don't fade Auburn, period. I'm done with those days. Auburn wins when they want to win.
A&M Florida.
A&M Florida. Texas, A&M Florida's probably going to be about a 10-point favorite, by the way, at home. Texas Tech at Kansas. Is Kansas dead? Are you willing to bet against them at Fog Allen?
I told you yesterday they are. I don't think they're a tournament team.
Okay, then you like Tech.
I do.
All right, Alabama, Tennessee, too. A lot of good ones. We'll be back on Monday. You guys have a good weekend.
This is